Welcome to a special Christmassy episode of Nerd on Nerd with me, Ellie Kempster.
Ho, 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 and me, Liam
Santa.
Underwood.
Oh,
No, I'm not Santa.
sorry, I got confused.
And excited by the sound of it.
I was excited, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to co-host a podcast with Santa.
It would be a step up.
Yeah, it would, quite honestly.
Yeah. Although, I think the thing with Santa
Yeah.
is slaves.
I don't think they're slaves. I don't think there's anything that implies the elves are slaves.
I don't think they're being paid handsomely.
We don't know that. You don't have evidence to show or disprove that.
No, I'm just saying, like, there are how do you say, like, potential issues with Santa and his system. Like, the naughty and nice list. Like, how is that monitored?
He checks it twice.
Right, yeah, but how does your name get on it?
I mean, here's the thing, right?
Is it magic?
He's giving out free presents every year. So, like, even if you accidentally end up on the naughty list, so it's free presents from Santa. That
But not if you're on the naughty list, it isn't.
Well, no, he gives you a lump of coal.
Yeah. But
Still, you're getting something for free. Like,
Is it free if you have to be good for it?
yes.
Is it, though?
Yes.
Okay.
You're not paying money for it.
No, but you are having to, like, go out of your way and be mindful and be good towards others and all that sort
That's
of
still
stuff.
free. That doesn't change whether it's free or not.
There's a hidden price attached, is all I'm saying.
Oh, there isn't.
There is. Anyway, this is our, obviously, festive Christmas special, and because
If you
of
couldn't
that...
tell.
Exactly. We are doing 2 culture swaps in this one.
I think Liam passed out for a second there, listeners.
Well, we kick it back, don't we? Old school.
Yeah. This is we go back to the traditional Nerd on Nerd style for this one. You know, Christmas is a time of tradition.
Yes, it is.
So Nerd on Nerd goes back to its traditional roots, and we each suggest something for the other to watch and ourselves. Or read.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We did some reading this time, which was a
Did
first.
a bit of reading. Yeah.
Some Christmas
So,
fiction.
Very exciting.
Did you ever get a book when you was a child? I did, where it was like a...
Sorry. You didn't give me much time I thought there was going to be more to the question.
There
But you
is.
very quickly
I
went
haven't-
with an I did.
I haven't finished.
I got books.
I haven't finished. Where it's like a tale about Christmas, but your name is in it.
I don't think I got one of them.
So the one I got was all about how Santa didn't have time to do all the presents, and he had to get Liam, which was me, to help deliver all the presents. And also, it has like your friends' names in it as well.
I was really hoping when you said that that Santa didn't have time to give all the presents, that it was your mum had got you this book saying like, Santa didn't have time to deliver all the presents, so Liam didn't get any. And then you're like, oh.
No. You help him, and then it's like, and then your friends' names are in it. So like, oh, Santa visited Liam's friends, but I had friends at the time, so it was their names.
Very exciting.
Still not friends with them anymore, but that's fine.
No.
You know, the time parades on and stops for no one, really.
Yep, Jesus. All right, we're 3 minutes in. Liam's already getting all weird on us. Right, go on. So you got this book.
Yeah, and
You delivered presents to your friends.
Yeah. And at the end, Santa's just basically like, oh, thanks, Liam, I couldn't have done it without you. And it's got pictures and stuff, but not of you, obviously. Just like drawing pictures of Santa, and
Yeah.
you help him deliver all the presents.
Like, I feel like I got you a gift like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
I got you a book that was all about
personalised.
Liam learning to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
So did that feel special? Did you have the same warm feeling inside as you read that?
No, Santa wasn't in it, and neither were my friends.
Fair point. Yeah, no, I never got anything like that. I'm trying to think if I got any
Okay.
sort of like custom Santa things. I don't think so. I think Santa used to like sometimes write us a note.
Just like, well done, you was really
You
well
did good.
behaved this year.
Yeah, congrats.
What was your favourite present that you can remember like getting as a child?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
So my mum,
Yeah.
when I was a child, used to work for a company called Hasbro. You might have heard of them.
Yeah, I have.
They make toys.
Yeah.
So
Famous
Christmas was awesome because she used to get big old discounts.
Yep.
Except one year. Right, so there was a year where I didn't really deserve Christmas presents because Hasbro used to do a Christmas party where the staff could bring their kids and the kids would get toys and there'd be like a little disco and all this sort of stuff and there'd be a Santa there. And
Yeah.
like, I need to preface this by saying, like, looking back, I am 100% aware of the errors of my ways.
You didn't do... How old were you? Just give me some
Oh, it was
like,
young.
context.
It would have been like... It would definitely been single digits. Probably 6 or 7, I reckon.
Okay. Are we talking, like... Because I'm trying to think of, like, the worst thing you could do in that situation, and that's a room full of kids,
Yeah.
a Santa.
Yeah.
You could do the big bad and, like, yank the beard, that kind of thing.
Oh, no, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Okay.
No. So, all the kids got presents from Santa, right? And the kids were getting, like...
Yeah?
What?
Go on, no, carry
It's
on.
not
I
terrible.
think maybe I know where you're going.
So most of the kids were getting things like Action Men, because that's what Hasbro was really well known for, or like
Yeah.
Barbie. That was also Hasbro, I think. Or did Hasbro do Cindy? Maybe they did Cindy. I can't remember. Some like girl
Yeah, they
version
did
of
something.
Action Man, basically, because gender stereotypes.
Yeah.
Board
The
games.
90s. Woo.
Yeah, it's brilliant. They were getting cool things, and I was looking around at all these big boxes and was like, oh, that's pretty awesome. I wonder what little Liam's going to get. This is exciting times.
Yeah.
What little Liam got, which he was not best pleased with, was just a small little present. It was a change of clothes for an Action Man. So everyone else had like actual Action Men and stuff. Liam got just an Action Man outfit, and little Liam was not happy with this. He felt there was an injustice.
I know Big Liam, and I can only imagine. I've heard stories of Little Liam, and he was a right little shit.
Yeah, he was very ungrateful.
What did you say to Santa?
I can't remember, honestly, if I said anything at the time. I just remember pouting a lot and being grumpy. It turned out, and this is why I feel quite bad about it in hindsight, that the reason why is because all of like the good presents, like actual Action Man, I got a Jeep for him, a helicopter, like loads of cool shit with stuff that I was getting on Christmas. And my mum was like, oh, I've wrapped all this stuff for Christmas. I'll just get him like Action Man clothes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, here's the thing, right? When you're that age, clothes is the worst gift. Clothes for a toy of yours, it's not like what you want, is it?
No, it isn't. But you are also an ungrateful little shit
Yes,
in
I
this
am.
story.
Yeah. No, I'm well aware of that. And I do feel horrendous about it now looking back. But
Yeah.
I was just a wee little kid, you know?
I just love the idea. It's like such a contrast between, like, I'd go and see Santa and it would be like, you know, a shopping centre Santa, or we'd go down to my nan's and we'd go on, like, she has this old, where she used to live, they had like a little train, like a steam train.
Yeah,
and they did a little Christmas journey you could go on, and Santa would come around and give out gifts.
Yeah.
And like, I'd get like a, you know, spinning top.
Yeah, like a
And I was
yo-yo
like,
maybe.
thanks, Santa.
Yeah.
You're a legend. And there's you being like, I've only, Santa's given me a change of clothes for my Action Men figures, of which I own plenty. My mum's bought me a Jeep for Christmas. But Santa...
I obviously didn't know about the Jeep.
I know you didn't.
But, you know, used to so yeah, Christmas was always awesome. Used to get like just loads of Hasbro things. Do you remember Mousetrap?
Yeah.
Terrible game, but
I like Mousetrap. It's a good game.
it's a lot of admin. Isn't it?
What does that mean?
Well, like the actual
Admin? You don't have to, like, add up. You don't have to sit there keeping track of it.
have
You
to
build the Mousetrap as you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a lot of hard work for the fun bit, which is making the Mousetrap happen.
And then that never works.
No, exactly.
Which is the best bit.
Do you remember Connects?
Yep.
Yeah, used to get that. I had a big old what's it called? Ferris wheel Connects.
Of course
with a
you
little
fucking
motor.
did. This is... honestly, this doesn't surprise me at all. I'm learning this, listeners. This is news to me, but it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that Liam was the spoiled kid.
Yeah, had a load of Batman toys as well, like
Of
from
course you
like,
did.
the animated
I had
series.
two Action Men. One of them swam in the bath. That was the thing that was
Yeah, the
special
little
about it.
diver one, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had two. That was all the Action Men I ever had.
I had loads.
Me and my dad once made sandbags for them. Like, we couldn't get the Hasbro branded shit.
You need a parent that works there, really. That's the trick. That is the trick. In all honesty, it was awesome. Like, in the summer, they used to
You
do...
were gonna go. You didn't, in all honesty, like, you know what? It wasn't actually as good as it sounded, but no, it was.
In the summer, they used to do, like, a toy fair where they would preview all of the stuff that was coming up for that, like, winter season.
Oh my god, you were the kid that was like, my mum works at Hasbro.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Although, right, no, it comes with consequences.
Yeah?
Yeah, people at school were friends with me just because they could get a discount on Hasbro toys.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I was friends with someone, I thought, went round their house, right, and then the next thing I know, they've produced, like, a catalogue, like an Argos catalogue, and have circled a load of toys, and they're like, how much can your mum get these for me?
Poor you. I bet you you took your little Action Man home in his Jeep.
No, it was, you know, I think that was the first time when I realised that I was being used. In my life, I mean. So, monumental. My favourite Christmas present, just to bring it back to that.
Yeah.
I remember once I had like a Simpsons playhouse. This is when I was really young, like I very barely remember it. But you know, like those like little houses that you essentially can go in.
Right, yeah.
It was just that. I just sat in it for ages. Didn't even watch The Simpsons at the time.
You just sat inside this little pretend house.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that.
I know what my worst gift I've ever got was.
Okay.
Which is everyone in my family gets it at a certain point because there are certain members of my family that are like they follow like a set of rules, which is when you're a kid, you get gifts. That's fine.
Makes
They're
sense.
close enough that you get gifts.
Yeah.
But when you hit 21 or 18, can't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
The gifts stop.
Oh.
And what you get instead is charitable donations in your name.
Oh, fuck that.
And the first year I ever opened we've donated 20 quid to a donkey in Portugal. I was like, what a fucking waste of my time this card's been.
You were just
and I'd been warned
annoyed.
about it. Like, my
just
mum was
a
like,
few seconds.
My mum was like, when you get to that card, don't expect anything because you're at the
adult.
age now. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. But you open it and you're still like, well,
you just want there to be money inside for you, not for some donkey in Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I always feel like that sort of thing's a bit of a cop out. Like,
this is so mean. This is
really
so mean.
is.
If any of our listeners are doing this for people, it's genuinely a really nice thing to do. Like, I totally get it now. I'm specifically saying when I turned like 18, I did not want to do charitable donations in my name.
Disagree. It's a nice thing to do. If you're a listener listening and you want to give to charity, 100% do that. It's good. Don't do it and then pretend it's a present from someone else.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
just don't give them a present.
Yeah, that would be preferable.
I think that's better. Yeah. You go, I'm not getting you a present this year. They go, why? And you go, because I decided that I would donate to charity.
Exactly, and that I'm 100% okay with.
And you get the moral victory.
Yeah,
what are they going to go? No, I want a present. You go, I wasn't doing it for you. I was doing it for the poor donkeys.
Yeah, I don't know what it is exactly, but there is something about donating for someone else, like in their name, that just doesn't sit right with me. Like you're forcing this person to be charitable.
This doesn't shock me at all.
You literally were just agreeing with me that this was a terrible idea.
No, I think it's a bad idea.
Exactly.
But I think you're a worse idea. So
like last week, I went into work. Do you know what? Let's just put the brakes on that. In this episode, we're doing. I got sidetracked. I'm sorry, listener. It's like,
sorry about that, guys.
You know, nearly 15 minutes later, we're back on track. Don't worry about it. I'll come back to the previous point. In this episode, we're going back old school. We're doing a thing each. Blah blah blah. We're doing 2 things in total. It's fine. It all makes sense. Just keep listening to Culture Swap. It all makes sense. We're doing Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Better watch out. And we're doing Miss Claus Goes Sledding. Flick lodges his tongue.
Yes, Christmas or sorry. Read the full title.
That's it, wasn't it?
No, Liam. Oh, that's not the full thing. That's the title.
Yeah.
If you don't care about the series, I believe you'll find that the title is. Let me just turn my phone around because it doesn't fit on a single line. I can't. It's not rotating. It's called Miss Claus Goes Sledding.
Yeah.
Flick lodges his tongue.
Yeah.
Open brackets. Holiday erotica with sultry Miss Claus Book 1. End brackets.
Right. Brilliant.
I don't want you to miss that bit. That's key.
Of course. So, we're doing that later for Culture Swap. Now it's time for catching up with Ellie and Liam. Back to the point I was just making. Last week, I went into work for the Christmas dinner. Turkey was really dry. It was horrible. It was not worth driving in. It was free, but it was horrible.
Yeah. There we go, listeners, back to the spoilt Liam. He hasn't grown up.
No, honestly, the Brussels were rock hard.
Why would you have Brussels anyway?
I like vegetables.
Ugh, get out.
Yeah, I'm not weird like you. Some people
No one likes Brussels sprouts. My mum is the only person that likes Brussels sprouts.
I like them if they're done well. If they're like rock hard, they're not nice.
They're just pretend cabbages.
I like cabbage as well.
Get out.
There's most vegetables I like. The only ones I don't like is beetroot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
That's a weird one not to like, but sure.
Don't care. Anyway, so we had crackers at work as well.
Yeah.
And you pulled it, and then a little like slip of paper would come out, and it'd be like, in this cracker would have been a spinning top, but instead we decided to donate to this charity. And I'm like, well, give me the choice.
That's the bad one.
Yeah.
Because that's not a big present. I can understand the logic of the big present. I don't like it, but I can see why people have done it.
Yeah.
Doing it to a cracker present and then telling you what you would have got.
Exactly.
That's because I've not done it recently because I've actually had to buy some. But I used to wait for Christmas because every year someone at the dinner table would get nail clippers.
Yeah.
They'd always come out. And I would spend the rest of my Christmas meal trading up round the table until I got the nail clippers. People would be like, I don't want the nail clippers. They're not fun. And I was like, I practically want the nail clippers because I need them to cut my nails.
Right, okay.
I'd lose one, and then I'd be like, well, my nails are growing really long. I need nail clippers.
I just bite my nails, keep them short. After a shower when they're still like moist.
Know how you get awesome nails like this, Liam?
Yeah.
Listeners can't see that. We're doing cameras again.
Yeah, Ellie has painted her nails festively.
I have. I'm very festive. I would just like to point out, listeners, I'm wearing a Christmas hat. I've got my festive painted nails. Liam looks a bit like...
I look like I haven't washed in 3 days, because that's accurate.
God.
Could you maybe take a selfie and put it on our Twitter for people to see how festive you're looking?
I don't do the Twitter.
Okay.
I'll do one.
Thank you. But yeah, there is something about being like, here's what you could have had.
Yeah.
That is
and it's such a small gift, the cracker one.
Yeah.
How much were they donating to the charity? Like 10p?
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous, right? What I think they should have done is had 2 crackers. Charity cracker and selfish cracker.
Ooh. And it's you choose which one you get.
Yeah. That'd
be good. You'd have been the only one that took a selfish one, though, and then
I'd have been the only one that walked home with a spinning top.
You'd have been the guy with the waxed guy and also selfish.
I'm okay with that.
He's the selfish wax guy.
Sounds weird. Anyway, so yeah, honestly, I drove in for this Christmas dinner. The thing is, the work Christmas party was the next day, and I won't go into it. The Christmas dinner was free, but because everyone was going to the work Christmas party, it was literally me and 3 other people in the office for the Christmas dinner.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a bit...
Yeah. One of those people went up to have dinner, or lunch, saw how long the queue was, and then left.
How long was the queue?
It was long, but once you started queuing, it went down in about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
Which, for free food...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. People, man. What are you going to
do? Yeah, exactly, Liam. What are you going to do?
Moan about it on a podcast that 20 people listen to. I got distracted from another point by the Christmas dinner thing, but now I can't remember what that initial point was that distracted.
That's all right, mate. Just move on. Don't worry about it. Let it go.
Wait for it. I used to get a lot of books for Christmas as well when I was growing up, because obviously this was before like, internet and video games.
Yeah. I don't know if I got... I'm sort of looking at my bookshelves and trying to remember if many of them were gifts. Because the thing with books is I'm like... I used to enjoy going into the store and like picking something out. Like, hit the sci-fi section. Boom, what's that one? I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think like 90% of my books are sci-fi books.
Oh, mine like when I was growing up.
Or fantasy.
I probably had like over 50 Point Horror and Goosebumps, and like, I had a whole bookcase just full of Point Horror and Goosebumps.
Yeah, see, that's when it's easy to buy someone gifts. When it's like the Goosebumps series, and they're like, you just go, what ones has he got?
Yeah.
I'll get him one of them.
Yeah, and that's what people used to do, because like my mum would have like a list of the ones that I didn't have and just like sort of divvy it out to family members.
It's more difficult for my mum to like say to my nan, oh, go in and get Gaunt's Ghosts.
Well, no, it's easy now.
Omnibus,
get
Omnibus
2 of
the Founding, and then my nan's like, oh, what's that under? And she's like, Warhammer 40k fiction.
Easy now. Go, just get Ellie number 2 in the Christmas Erotica series.
Yeah, I'm starting that. Whew.
Miss Claus does whatever the fuck she wants.
She'd probably go sledding again, to be honest. She seemed to enjoy it.
She did. Well, no, it seemed quite stressful, but we'll get there. So can I tell you about a memorable Christmas gift that I had?
Yeah,
and I think this is going to give you a bit of an insight into my adolescence What does adolescence mean? Is that growing up?
Yeah, like you're the sort of young adult.
Yeah.
12. Yeah.
I was also, I think, 12 years old. I think.
There you go. Yeah, your adolescence.
I was getting into music in a big bad way.
Yep.
I remember there was the Christmas before, so maybe I was 13. The Christmas before, I got 3 different albums, and it was like I remember it being this very specific like crossroads in my life where I was like, right, what person am I going to become? Because the first album was the greatest hits of the Beautiful South.
What? Sorry. Okay. No.
Which is a band, right? It's not just like music from the south of the country. It's a band. I can't remember anymore what they did, but they had a famous song, I'm sure.
Beautiful Sounds, I imagine.
Well, I don't know. Hang on, let me just... I'm sure you'll know at least one of their songs. Perfect 10. They did Perfect 10.
No idea.
If you heard it, you'd probably know it.
Maybe.
I think it's one that goes like, I'm not going to sing it, but the lyrics are like, she was
Please
a perfect
do.
10, but she wears a 12. Something like that.
What?
Hang on.
The fuck are you talking about?
Right, just honestly...
Listeners, I don't know what's going on with Liam today. We've had about 5 stories, and every single one branches off into 3 other stories. We're now Googling beautiful... He's sending me links to Beautiful South videos.
If you don't know this within the first like 10 seconds, just give up. But this was their song that like I remember being like, this is groovy.
What do they look like? This is weird.
Do you recognise that?
No! No, I don't. Have I accidentally turned off the video?
No?
How do I get back to it? Oh, found it. Yeah, no, I don't recognise that, Liam. I can see what you mean. Okay, so I get that music style now.
Yeah,
so that was one of your choices.
Quite poppy.
Glad you didn't pick that one.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have been your friend.
The next one was, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like lots of sort of Blazing Squad.
Right. Okay.
It was okay. So here's the issue. It was like all that sort of music. It was a compilation album.
Yeah.
I started listening to it one night, and I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, okay. Okay, yeah, still going, okay. And then about 10 minutes passed, I was like, okay, this song's going on a bit long. Okay, yeah. When I checked, about 5 songs had played, I just couldn't tell.
Right, yeah, that's not a good sign.
It's not. It was awful. And then the third one I got was Red Hot Chili Peppers, What Hits?
Yeah.
Which is the path I decided to go down.
Yeah, which was the correct choice.
Yeah, but honestly, this like... sort of hip hoppy. It's not even hip hop, R&B, but like, what's the slightly dirtier version of that?
I don't know.
I don't know. But if you know the music,
we know what you mean. Everyone gets what you mean.
Well, people that are familiar with Blazing Squad.
Everyone knows Blazing Squad.
Sure. I don't know if our American listeners are going to know Blazing Squad.
They did that famous song. She looks like a 10, but she dresses like a 12.
No,
or dresses in a 12.
Was Blazing Squad
Sorry.
21 Seconds to Go?
Possibly. I don't know, mate.
I don't know. It was
do
all
Googling.
that sort of shit.
We're losing him, listeners.
It's fine. It was all that sort of shit. Anyway, so I was getting into my music. I really, really wanted a sound system for my bedroom. Just like two speakers, one in either corner of the room, and then like a CD player, essentially.
Jesus fucking Christ, listeners.
Honestly, like a hi-fi...
I'm learning so much about Liam.
A hi-fi system thing, right?
What was your mum doing at Hasbro? Was she like CEO?
Oh, she'd moved on to a different job at this point. So this is...
She just started up Apple.
Right, bear in mind, my birthday is like 4 days before Christmas. So if I wanted a big present like this, I'd be like, combine it. Birthday and Christmas together gets me a big present. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, I used to do that and get like a game console.
Yeah, and I imagine, like, price-wise, it would be equivalent.
A full sound system installed in your bedroom.
Look,
yeah,
I think
probably
I'm
about
describing
the same.
it wrong as a sound system. It was like a hi-fi... literally, like a
You
CD
said it
player
had
with 2
speakers in the corners of your room.
Yeah.
Go
It was
on,
brilliant.
carry on with the story.
I had been going on and on and on about that for probably the better part of a year. Being like, this is what I want. I think I picked out exactly the one I wanted and everything. I was not subtle with the hints I was dropping.
Yeah.
We had also recently moved house. And I thought it would be so cool if my mum and her partner got like a exotic fish tank.
Right.
For the living room.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to see how this connects to your sound system.
So this is the sort of upbringing I had, right? We'd moved house like in the summer. So it'd been a couple of months where I've been like, you know, this would be really cool. But I wanted them to get it. I didn't want it. I didn't want to be responsible for the fish or anything. I just thought it'd be cool if they had it. So Christmas rolls around.
They got you an exotic fish tank.
Christmas rolls around. I have a big box under the tree, all wrapped up. Big old box. I had a feeling.
Are you the kind of kid that sees the big box and doesn't do the like, I'll open it and see what it is before I get excited? Or not excited, but like, I could picture you being the kind of kid that's like, oh, a sound system.
Exactly. Maybe like, oh, I wonder what this could be. Could it be the sound system I've been asking for all year? Maybe.
And then them going, oh shit.
So here's the thing. I open the wrapping paper.
Yep.
Eagerly, and it's doesn't look like a sound system.
No, looks like an exotic fish tank, I imagine.
It does. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't best pleased with this.
No.
I didn't. It wasn't as bad as
you were. You were a 12-year-old child. You knew that your mum would put a lot of thought into the gift, and you went, you know what? I'll get over it. Hey, maybe I'll even learn to love exotic fish.
No.
Hey, mum. Who knows?
Here's the thing. So you know how like when I was like 6 or 7, I was a bit pouty about Santa.
Yeah.
My pout was magnified by like 100 when it came to this. And my mum was like, just open it. Just have a look inside. Just open it. And I was like, no.
Oh, no. Oh, Liam. No, it's even worse.
It's even worse.
She got you the sound system and she pranked you and you didn't open the rest of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Liam.
So this is why I don't trust.
How long did it take you to open it?
It was a couple of hours. It was genuinely a couple of hours.
Of her being like, no, Liam, open the box.
But equally, right, just so... Because at the moment, people are going to be like, oh, young Liam was even more of a dickhead than old Liam. Just to kind of give balance to the picture I'm painting here of me growing up.
Liam had just got his mum an exotic fish tank.
No. Do you ever remember these little ornament type things called something like Myth and Magic? And it'd be like dragons with like a real crystal in...
Oh, yeah, I know the sort of thing you're talking about.
Yeah, there was one which was these two dragons holding up like a clock. Okay. And I thought it looked really cool. And my nan had got it for me. And I knew that like she just had like a pension and shit. And she was saving up really hard for it all year. So I was so like overwhelmed by the generosity that I cried.
Yeah, well, that's very sweet. It's just a shame you didn't have the same sort of generosity when your mum got you a fish tank in it.
Oh, I was livid. Absolutely livid.
It's just amazing. I'm trying to think if I've ever had... I don't think I've ever had like an experience where I've done anything like that. Like, I don't think I've thrown a strop that I can remember about a present.
Have your parents ever pranked you about a present?
Possibly. I can't remember if I don't think they have for me. My dad has pranked my mum before. I don't remember if it was Christmas or her birthday.
I think you might have told me about this.
Yeah, he went out and got her all the presents that she had specifically told him she didn't want. So, like, windscreen wiper blades.
Didn't she cry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prank went on a little bit too long.
Didn't you have to help
Dad
fix it?
misjudged that one.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But so that must be quite nice to not have parents that trick you on Christmas.
I wouldn't mind. I'm not like you. It wouldn't. It'd be funny. I'd be like, I'd have opened it and just been like, oh, this is really good, thanks. And then they'd have been like, that'd be even sweeter for them because they'd be like, oh.
No, they'd be like, oh fuck, he's gonna be really disappointed when there's a.
Open it up and I'm like, what the fuck's the fish tank?
Where are the fish meant to live now?
I can't live in these speakers.
It was a cool sound system though. It's like you could put 3 CDs in it and then shuffle between all 3 of them.
Yeah, of course it could, Liam. Because you were filthy rich.
That's the funny thing. We really weren't. We went from...
Oh, yeah, well...
No, like...
Your poor mum was having to save up year round to get you these gifts.
We went from working class to middle class when I was probably about, like, 14, 15, which was weird.
I mean, you've never been working class, is the truth of the matter. So honestly, don't even try it.
I feel like...
Even if your family were working class, you've always been upper class,
I think
trapped.
There is a very high possibility that somehow, when I was born at the hospital, there was like a strange mix-up and I should have gone to like the royal family or something.
I genuinely... It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I think, imagine the relief your mum would have.
I think she'd be a little bit disappointed.
That was so mean. I'm so sorry.
Just a little bit.
It's Christmas.
It is Christmas. And... We've gone half an hour now, and we've been very Christmassy so far. Oh, no, I've asked you questions.
Yeah, I've not told a single story, Liam.
Well, fix it.
I've done stuff, Liam.
Yeah, what have you done?
Went to a Christmas party, mate.
That was one of my things.
I know, but I'm stealing it because you just went on for half an hour about all your bloody rich boy gifts.
Single
I
child,
went
innit?
to a Christmas party, which Liam was also invited to, hosted by Dan Palmer, who's been a guest on the show.
Who
and
joined
his
us to
housemates.
talk about
And Sam.
Ren and Stimpy and Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, I believe.
Yep. And Sam Pryor was also there.
Who
also
joined
being a
us to
guest on
talk
the show.
about WrestleMania, but I didn't really get a chance to speak to him at the party because I was too awkward to just be like, "Hi, we've spoken on the internet, but never in real life."
Yeah.
And
It was
no one
also
introduced us.
very busy. Because that was like
was busy.
when I was talking to Sam afterwards, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't speak to Liam all night." And I was like, "To be fair, there were people at the party that I like." As I was leaving, I was like, "I didn't speak to you. I'll see you later." Because there were a lot of people there. It was quite a big party.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's my least favourite way of meeting new people, though.
Yes, I know you don't. Yeah, but
Because let me explain, because I don't want to just sound like a twat. I'm bad
because he has to look at them, and they're all like poor.
They didn't get sound systems when they were kids, so how could they understand my struggles?
Liam wandered around going, "Did any of you get hi-fis as children? Full sound system, sorry, not a hi-fi."
Who here had the Action Man helicopter? It was hard getting him in the cockpit, wasn't it? Anyone relate to those struggles? Anyway, it was just I don't like people. No, like when there's a big group of people, I'm bad. Even if I know them, I'm bad at like talking up. I prefer to just listen in big groups.
Yeah, Liam's creepy.
If I don't know people, it's even worse. I'm just like, I'll just stay quiet. I'm very good when it's like one-on-one or like a small group of like 3, maybe 4 tops.
Yeah.
If I don't know people, I can handle that. If I do know them, I can go up to like 6, maybe 7 at a push, and I can handle that. But anything more...
Like you've got exact figures.
Yeah, anything more, and I just like go into my little shell like a little turtle. Or tortoise.
I mean, Liam and Kat did spend maybe an hour of the party in the hallway.
Yeah, we didn't know where to go, because there were 2 camps in this party. There was the kitchen camp.
There was the kitchen camp.
And the living room camp. And we were trying to decide which camp looked coolest to join.
Well...
Turned out, it was our own camp that we set up in the hallway.
It turned out that Liam and Kat weren't cool enough for the cool kitchen party, so they came and joined the living room party.
Very true. Very true. It was a good party, though. I enjoyed how it was laid out and everything. I enjoyed meeting people. It was just weird, because obviously for you, it was like a lot of your friends who you've known all your life.
I think there were literally like 3 people there that I've seen at parties before, but I don't like super know. They weren't from the old big friendship group. They're like newer people.
For us, there were literally 3 people there that we knew.
Yeah.
So...
But you did alright. You met some of my friends, chatted to some of them.
Yeah, we didn't really chat to many new people.
You chatted to Treeby.
A little bit, but not a lot.
You chatted to Jess.
Kat did most of that. Kat got very drunk at this party, we should point out. Kat drank a whole bottle of Prosecco without really eating that day.
Yeah.
Left the party and immediately fell over.
That's how you know it was a good party, then.
Yeah, I was driving. So I had 2 cans of Diet Coke. Wild.
I imagine your ride home was quite fun.
I stopped at a service station because I was hungry. I said to Kat, "Do you want some food?" She went, "No, I just want to sleep." So I was like, "Okay, I'll leave you the car keys." Locked the car behind me. Went and got Burger King. Which, by the way, this is the second time I've had Burger King lately. Now, disgusting. It was the only one that was open, but I don't like Burger King.
Well, yeah. I mean, no offense to service stations, but you're not getting the highest quality there.
That is true. Anyway, managed half of this awful Burger King. Went back. Kat was just asleep in the car. Hadn't locked it. The sat nav was up. Anyone could have seen that. But luckily,
yeah, but if Kat was in there, no one's going to try and rob your car with someone in it.
Yeah, but
they could overly paranoid.
They might have tried to rape her.
Right. Well, Jesus Christ, Liam.
So she should have locked the door. Is all I'm saying. But she was out of it. I was very sober. But I had a good time. Yeah, I had a good time. I enjoyed chatting to people. I would have liked to have met some like more new people, but it's just when it's a situation like that where everyone already knows each other and is like probably catching up because they haven't seen each other in a while. It's a bit awkward to just be like, "Hi, I'm new."
No, that's what you should have done.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that would work. What? Okay, I feel like if the situation was reversed and you were in my position,
I wouldn't talk to anyone.
Yeah,
I would get drunk, which is I was never good at meeting people unless I was drunk.
What is the best way of doing it? Like
get drunk.
Probably the way that like neither of us could actually do because we don't have the social skills.
You go in and you just go like, "Hey, I'm Ellie. How do you know?"
Sound ridiculous if I said that.
What?
I thought it sounded ridiculous if I said that.
It would.
Yeah.
Because you're not Ellie.
Exactly.
I mean, what we should have done, Liam, and here's the God's honest truth. What we should have done...
Played a game.
We should have pulled out a classic. An old uni trick.
No.
If listeners weren't aware, me and Liam went to uni together.
No.
You know
I know where
exactly
this is
where I'm
going. And this is a terrible idea.
We should have played Never Have I Ever.
Oh, and I'd have got so drunk on my Diet Coke.
I used to have so much fun playing that game, listeners, because I don't know if you can tell by the way we are, but Liam has done lots of things. And I've done things, but Liam doesn't know what some of them are. So he can't really get me with too many.
What are the things that I don't know about?
You'll have to find out, Liam. By playing Never Have I Ever with me.
I feel like
at a party.
I feel like at this stage in our friendship, I
Liam
should
probably
know
knows
most of the
weird shit I've
things.
done. I think you probably do.
Well, maybe
I just wanted to freak you out. I like that it upsets you when you don't know that I might have done something.
it does upset me because I feel like, in my mind, and this is not accurate, but in my mind, I'm like your spiritual advisor.
It's hilarious that we both think the exact same thing about each other.
Yeah.
We both think we're mentoring the other one.
Yeah. But I tell you things when they happen to me.
I tell you things when they happen to me.
Do you though?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well that's good. Keep that up. It's Christmas!
It's Christmas.
But no, I think like some sort of game or something would have just helped, like, because you don't really have to. Do you know what I mean? Make conversation. It just happens.
But you're getting there, Liam. You're
Yeah,
slowly.
This was the first step in meeting your friends. Although, and
Exactly.
the best bit, you weren't even the one that invited us.
No, exactly. So that meant I didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it was all on Dan.
Yeah.
Who
and he
also
didn't
just
do a very
didn't
good job.
really worry about it.
No.
But my goal was just to not embarrass ourselves enough to not get invited back to like a summer barbecue. And I think if we were to do something like that, we might try and find somewhere local to stay so I can drink.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe we'll have
see.
some people over here in the summer, but we didn't really meet any new people to expand. But I like.
No, well, I mean, you're already friends with like a bunch
few.
of the core people that I'm friends with.
Exactly. And we'll probably do a summer barbecue and invite the cool people.
Yeah.
Just stick with that.
Exactly.
But so the thing that disappointed me the most is there was a group of girls all together.
Yep.
And I said to you were kind of like telling me who everyone was and how they all knew each other.
Yeah, there was a point where Liam was like, I don't really know anyone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I haven't really introduced you to anyone, so I'll just quickly tell you who everyone is.
Which still just isn't introducing.
I also wasn't saying their names. I was just saying, like, that's the group of... That group is these people.
The other thing about Ellie and Dan's friendship group, a lot of them have bizarre nicknames.
Yeah, we've got Treeby.
Yeah.
Because his name backwards, he's Robert.
Yeah.
His name backwards is Treebor. Someone fucked it up once and said Treeby. He's been Treeby since I've known him.
I can only imagine, like, at this point, how many times he's had to explain that. Because he had to explain it to us.
If someone said to me, this is genuine, if someone said, Robert said this, I would have no idea who they were talking about.
Yeah.
I only know him as Treeby.
It's ridiculous.
It's like
right?
LJ. LJ. He is trying to be called Joseph because he doesn't think LJ is a very professional name, which it isn't. But I'm like, no, LJ. You've been LJ for too long. It's fine if you tell new people that you're
Joseph. What does the
Joseph.
L stand for?
Little.
I didn't know that.
It's Little Joe. That's
Didn't know
it
that.
started as... So he was... when he was at primary school, he was just Joseph.
Yeah,
Or Joe.
Didn't know his name.
And then
was that.
he went to high school and people called him Little Joe, and then that just got shortened to LJ. So now he's LJ.
Genuinely didn't know that.
No, I'm trying to think of who... some people call Palmer Gonads.
Yeah, why's that?
Not for any weird story reason. He just used to have his username on a lot of stuff was Gonads, and Dan backwards is Nad.
Yeah, makes sense.
A lot of nicknames in my group are based on what your name backwards is.
The thing is, I know the reason why you will call him Palmer is because there's several Dans in the group, right?
Yeah, we've got a lot of Dans.
But I don't know like any other Dans. So to me, he's Dan, and it seems weird to me calling him like not Dan because I don't know any other Dans to need to differentiate.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but it's just I don't know. Like last names were a pretty common thing for my group to call each other. Like there's Tom McGowan who was there.
Yeah.
And I call him McGowan.
Yeah, and then there's
Other
Tom
people call
Hogan.
him- Yeah, Hogan.
Yeah, I prefer
a lot of like just last names. I don't know why.
Fair enough. But yeah, it was a fun party.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Liam.
Yeah, I mean not as much as Kat.
I'm not going
did,
to take any
but-
credit for it because it wasn't me, but
Exactly. But I feel like we're slowly ingratiating ourselves.
worming your way in.
Yeah, like a
Like
little
black
maggot.
mould.
Yeah. Have you done anything
Once
else?
you're in, you're impossible to get out. Well, I had 2 weeks off of work, which was...
So you must have done loads of fun, relaxing things.
Not really, because my first week off was a lot of work.
Okay.
Not work for my actual job. Work for, like, half an episode of a podcast getting uploaded completely blank, and Audacity just deciding to erase
I don't know how you missed
30
that.
minutes of
I
editing.
really don't.
It export because when it was finished, it was a full file. The full file was in Audacity, and so I assumed, because we've had it before where I've exported an MP3 and it's exported all silence.
Yeah.
So I was like, the fact that half of it is silent is weird.
Definitely.
And then when I opened up the file, it's not even half silent. It's just half of your audio was silence.
Yeah.
So Audacity just randomly went, nah, don't need that.
No one needs to hear what he has to say.
And it's not even like deleted in Audacity. It's not like your file's cut short.
Yeah.
It's the full audio file was there.
Yeah.
But just silent for half of it.
Weird.
So I lost an hour and a half editing, which I then... So, listeners, if the episode before last is... Oh, no, was it the... No, yeah, the episode before last.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Liam's birthday, the Mamma Mia one.
Yeah.
If there's me vaping in it and all sorts of shit that usually I would cut out, that's why. It's because I had to spend a day trying to fix it, couldn't, and literally had to re-edit at the end and was like, I can't do an hour and a half sitting here.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound good because Ellie's lazy.
Yeah, well, Ellie was meant to be having a week off and didn't.
Yeah.
Then the second day was watching 2 Mamma Mias, which I know is a day off. And when I say this to people, I'm like, I'm aware that it was still, fun. I had fun.
Yeah.
But it's still not... I wasn't on my week off being like, oh, I'm going to do what I want to do. It was, I've got to do this for the podcast.
Exactly. I want to just give a quick shout out to Amanda for letting us know about that issue.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda.
To be fair, she was like, oh, just so you know, about halfway through Liam's audio stops, and my immediate response was, maybe that's made the episode better. But I guess not.
No.
But yeah, we probably wouldn't have picked it up for about another year until I'd have caught up doing it for YouTube if it went for Amanda.
Yeah, because my co-host doesn't listen back to episodes until he's YouTubing them.
Yeah, which I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Episode 50 is uploaded. That'll be going live the week after Christmas.
Thank goodness.
Do you know, we've nearly had Monday to Friday daily content on YouTube for an entire year now.
I would say I'm proud of you, but I don't like the way you're doing it, so I'm not going to.
Don't give a fuck. Once I catch up, you can't mind.
Oh, I won't. Once you've caught up, I'll be like, good job, Liam. We're now doing what we should have been doing from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But yeah, so my second week off was more relaxed. Went to pick up my sister from uni, brought her back for Christmas holiday.
Is she enjoying uni?
Yeah, I think so.
Does she still listen to the podcast?
She does. She was an episode behind. She sent us that message that I think I read out in the episode. I might not have, though, where basically my sister was like, we were like a week late with an episode, and she was like, where the fuck is Nerd on Nerd? I'm in my Tuesday lecture.
Oh, I don't think you did
Tuesday
read this
workshop. Maybe I didn't. I might have forgotten. But she basically was complaining because an episode hadn't come out, and she'd started listening to them in this 2-hour slot she had.
Yeah.
Where they do work and she can listen to music or whatever. For some reason, she's listening to us. But
maybe we're
I was then talking to her. When I went to pick her up, I was like, yeah, I told Liam about the message. And I was like, oh yeah, Mol's really angry. And she was like, yeah, well, I refreshed the feed. And it turned out I just hadn't refreshed the feed for a while. So there was like 2 episodes.
Oh, so there was nothing we
I
did
was like,
wrong.
so we weren't behind.
Yeah.
We were, but she was behind.
Yeah, so it all worked out then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
It's all good.
Yeah. One thing that I learned at this party of Dan's is because I was kind of introduced to the people that I was introduced to as your co-host on Nerd.
It's because, a weird number of my friends, they don't necessarily listen.
But they're aware of that.
A lot of them have heard episodes.
Yeah, and I don't like it. There was several people, it was more than a couple, it was several, who were actually very complimentary about the podcast. Honest, they said, don't listen to it like all the time, but stuff that we have listened to we enjoyed. And when people say it in person, it makes me super uncomfortable.
Yeah, Liam was trying to explain this to me earlier, and I think it stems from Liam worrying that he said something wrong.
It's partly that, and it's partly because this is just us chatting shit for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like something that anyone should ever listen to.
No, that's
so
fair.
When people are like, oh, I've listened to it and enjoyed it, it just makes me just a bit uncomfortable. I'm just like, Why?
You're going to really... If we ever get famous, you're going to really struggle.
No, I don't know if there's going to be like a tipping point. Where at the moment, because we get so few listens, I'm just like, I don't get why people listen. If we get to a stage where suddenly we're getting loads of listens, I might actually start being like, oh, maybe it's because we are good. But I don't feel like we are at the moment.
I know what Liam's like, and I've learnt more about him today. We don't want him to get that. If lots of people start listening, find a way to like VPN in. I'll tell Liam the stats aren't very good.
No, don't do that. I think
can't let him know.
I think a part of it is I don't know. I don't know. I was trying to think
there's a part
if there was
of like
a reason.
There's people now. So my friends who are like, oh, I've listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
You don't know them, but they know you.
That makes me uncomfortable.
I can see why that would be slightly
Which I think we did discuss previously, right?
I think we have, yeah.
Yeah. Also, the fact that you told me that there's some of your friends have listened and have been like, oh, I don't think I'd like Liam in person. And now I have to play the game of figuring out who those people are. So I've got to be a little bit on guard, right?
No, you don't.
No, I do, though.
I've always said to you that it was literally just a passing comment one of them said. And it wasn't even like, I don't think I'd like him. It was just like, I don't know what he'd be like in person, and I don't know if I'd get on with him. It wasn't in like a...
Well, it turns out I am very quiet and sober. But I want to know who it was, so then I can make an effort to turn that opinion around.
Nah.
But now I just have to assume everyone doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Imagine, dear listener, going to a party assuming that everyone doesn't like you there.
It's a bit like playing a game of Resistance for an entire party.
Yeah, it is.
Fun.
And no one else knows that that's what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
It's not. Anyway, so back to your sister. So she's enjoying uni, back for the holidays.
Christmas holiday.
So how is she finding like settling back into the whole like giving up the independent uni life and having to like...
Oh, she loves all that shit.
Oh, really?
She's a proper little like homebody.
Oh.
She's like, she's the kind of kid that's like... I mean, she struggled with the first couple of weeks, but she's doing better now. But like, she loves coming home and being all back. So I just swear at her when she's back. Tell her to fuck off back to uni.
Is your mum quite close with her?
Yes.
Okay.
A bit like, you'd probably get quite well with my sister.
Because I'm close to your mum.
I didn't think that one through. Touche, Liam. Touche.
You didn't. It reminds me of a thing I saw online earlier, which was like, you've seen all the news about the fake news about people wanting there to be like a female Santa.
Yeah.
There's another thing about people
getting traction.
Yeah, another thing about people wanting to ban the phrase "ho ho ho" around Christmas because it's offensive to your mum.
That's quite good. I like that one.
Have you been up to anything else?
No, I think that's it, mate.
Yeah, I built a desk for Kat.
How did that go?
It's a fucking nightmare.
Didn't you recently build a desk for Kat? Like, before this? I feel like you built something.
We tried to... we tried to build a desk for Kat. Took us like several hours, and then we realised it was like a hand-me-down from someone in Kat's family. And we realised that they'd put the door on wrong and we didn't know how to fix it. So we just took it to the dump after spending like literally most of a Sunday trying to fix it, and we couldn't. And then, right, here's the thing. Kat's mum after that was like, well, neither of you are particularly good at that sort of stuff anyway, are you? I was like, I'm sorry. We spent like 5 hours trying to fix this thing.
Yeah.
It's not our fault it was broken in the first place. You should see the desk I've just built for her.
You're all right. Calm down.
My mum came over to help do it.
Right, so it wasn't even you. Yeah, exactly.
No, but it was a 2-person thing, but Kat counts as like half a person, so I needed
it was Liam's mum, and Liam's mum probably brought around a couple of fucking Action Men Jeeps.
No, here's the thing.
No,
genuinely, my mum was like, I don't know how we did it, because she took it. Well, I took a look at the instructions, but that doesn't really make sense. Showed it to her. I was like, does that make sense to you? She was like, no. I took it back. I looked at it. I sort of started figuring it out. And then afterwards, she was like, I don't know how you got past the first step, because it was just nonsense. Like, there was no text. It was just a picture that you had to decipher.
Yeah.
But I basically, like, I'm the one that followed the instructions, sorted it all out. My mum was just there to screw things.
Jesus, what is this episode becoming?
There was a lot of screwing.
Don't say that.
No, my mum got a blister on her hand.
Stop.
It's Christmas, so what, it's all innocent.
Yeah, sure.
She brought the dog. Grow up. She brought the
Sorry.
dog. He was livid that we weren't paying attention to him. So at one point, he just laid across like the top of the desk that was in the middle of the floor.
Helpful.
She yelled at him. He got the hump, laid down while huffing and puffing like dogs do when they're annoyed. Didn't realise that he was laying down facing the wall, and then was even more annoyed because he couldn't see anyone.
Oh, you and that dog are so alike.
Yeah, I know. I think it's how we were raised. We're both like essentially only children, really.
Yep. You and the dog are evidence that nurture is a big factor.
Yeah. If you want like really good Christmas presents, kill your siblings. That's my advice. Anyway, also the dog also the dog did a protest wee in our bathroom.
Oh, God, right, of course.
I mean, luckily it wasn't on carpet. Yeah.
Oh.
But it wasn't on carpet, thankfully. But it wasn't like in the toilet.
No, he's not. That would have been a weird protest wee.
Yeah. And my mum was like, "Oh, he's never done that before." I was like, "Well, he started."
So you've had a fun old time then, Liam?
Honestly, it took us about 4 hours to build this fucking desk. I'll take a picture of it and put it on Twitter. It looks good now it's done. It was not how I wanted to spend a Friday night.
No, that's fair.
But you know, Kat's
That's
happy.
what adults do, Liam.
Well, it was partly Kat's birthday present as well, wasn't it? Like her birthday Christmas present was that I'd get her a desk. Just didn't realise I'd have to also build it.
Have fun.
It's what she wanted. No, but you think like she's a business owner now, so she needs like a place
Desks.
to be a business owner. It is like
Right,
it's pretty swanky. Like if she rotated where the desk was in the room, so it was facing the door, it would look like she was ready to have meetings and like fire people and stuff.
Oh, fair enough.
So, yeah, that was basically it. Really,
Cool.
that was it for the catching up stuff. That wasn't it for all the fun cinema things.
No, yeah, we're only an hour in, listeners. Don't worry.
Christmas specials go long.
Traditionally, we tried to keep... They do go long. This one's going to go particularly long.
Remember, let me, listener, take you back to our first ever Christmas episode.
Let me, listener, take you back.
Yeah. Our first ever Christmas episode where Ellie suggested I watch The Santa Claus, and then I heroically went above and beyond, and I've not heard the end of it since.
No, not heroically. Stupidly.
I watched 3 Santa Claus movies back to back.
Yes, we effectively did 4 culture swaps.
It was brilliant. Anyway, I've been to cinema. So since we've moved, we're now near an Odeon.
Yep.
And they seem to semi-regularly do this thing, which is a bit like View sometimes did it. Odeon call it Screen Unseen, where it's an advanced film, but they don't tell you what it's going to be.
Yeah, I remember you doing them.
Yeah, View used to have them. They called them secret screenings. So
yeah.
The only difference with Odeon is they give you clues throughout the week leading up to it.
Oh, okay.
The clues don't help. I've after seeing the film, I went back to the clues and was like, I still don't understand how those clues led to this film. I was really hoping from the clues that it was going to be Glass, the new M. Night Shyamalan film. Yeah. It wasn't. It was a film called Beautiful Boy.
Don't know that one.
Okay, it's got Steve Carell in it.
Okay.
It also has, do you know Timothée Chalamet? I think that's how you say his name. I'm not sure.
What's he been in?
He was in Call Me By Your Name quite famously. That was like his breakout role.
Okay.
He's also been in Lady Bird. He was in Interstellar.
Oh, okay.
As one of the kids in that.
Okay.
In Beautiful Boy, he plays a teenager who is getting into drugs, and Steve Carell plays the dad who just doesn't really know how to help his child. Based on a true story.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I like Steve Carell, and I really like it when he does like serious roles.
Yeah.
But when he yells, I can't not hear Michael Scott, his character from The Office.
Yeah.
When he's doing a dramatic thing and he's yelling at his drug-addicted son, but you're just hearing and seeing Michael Scott, and this is like, it's no fault of the film, it's no fault of the actor, it's entirely my fault, but it just sort of takes me out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think I do like Timothée Chalamet. I think he's fantastic in Call Me By Your Name. I don't think he's cast right in this film.
Okay. Because he's not... In what way? Like...
I just... At no point... I felt like I was supposed to, like, maybe sympathise with him or empathise with him, maybe. At no point I did. There was a couple of times where it's kind of like, just OD, because your parents need a break. Like, but this is what I'm saying, like, there's a thing that... In my Letterboxd review, I said this, and then a Timothée Chalamet Stan account commented on it. where, do you know who Miles Teller is?
Yeah, yeah.
He plays up to it in the roles he takes, but he has this kind of like cockiness, arrogance that is like he does it in quite an endearing, charming way, sort of like Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
But he kind of like leans into it in the roles he takes, and I really totally like him for that. I feel like Timothée Chalamet has that kind of innate like cockiness to him, but the roles he's given don't allow him to play up to it.
Got you. Okay.
So it constantly feels like there's, to me, a bit of a disconnect. But then in my Letterboxd review, someone commented on it saying, Timothy is not arrogant or cocky at all, pretty much the opposite. If you watch some of the interviews, you would notice that he is really humble and shy, but I think all the characters that he chooses are like you said. I don't know if they're agreeing or disagreeing with me.
No, that's a very weird way to do it.
Yeah.
You're completely wrong. He's not like this at all, but I agree with you.
Yeah. Weird, right?
Weird.
It also had, I'm going to butcher the name, Maura Tierney, I think it is. She's been in stuff. You'd probably recognise her if you saw her, but she was really good. She plays Steve Carell's wife in it. Quite like understated, but really good. The performances for the most part are good. There was just, I don't know, the way the film was told as well was jumped around through time. It wasn't like linear, and I get why, but it was just okay.
All right, well that's okay then. You're allowed to think films are okay.
It is 3 out of 5, but I'm also allowed to be disappointed when they're only okay.
Yeah,
especially because I had heard good things about it, so I was hoping it would be good. I go into every film hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So when it is just okay, I'm a bit like, that's a shame.
That's fair.
Next, I saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I want to see this.
You should see it.
Yeah, I know. Literally, me and a guy at work were talking about it today. He, like, because I've been off for 2 weeks, I sat down and he just immediately turned around and he went, Ellie, have you seen Into the Spider-Verse yet? And I was like, no. And he was like, same. I want to see it so bad, but I have to take my son. And he was like, his son's at an age where he's like, he might like it, but his like favourite superheroes at the moment are like kids' TV show superheroes. And he's like, oh, so I think
he'll like it.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I'm
gonna love it because Spider-Gwen's in it, and that's what I want.
And she's voiced by Hailee Steinfeld, who
I know her. 1,
proud member of the Guilt-Free 3 list, and 2, is fantastic in it.
You're a fucking creep.
I would like to see more of her portrayal of Gwen Stacy. It was that good.
Okay. It's Gwen Stacy. She's like the best character in the Marvel universe. So.
Well, obviously, we had disagreements about when we discussed Gwen Stacy.
Don't remember. Block out whenever you disagree with me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, in this, she's really good. So that's how good she is. That even for someone that wasn't a big fan.
It's impossible to do Gwen Stacy bad.
Oh,
no, it isn't. Yeah. You could really fuck that up if they cast you as Gwen Stacy.
Exactly.
That would
I was literally about to say, pop a blonde wig on me. Imagine me running around as Gwen Stacy. You would not be a happy Ellie.
No, I wouldn't. That's true.
Traumatized, maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, the animation is just phenomenal. For anyone that isn't...
I've heard it's really artistic. Like, there's a couple of scenes that are very arty and...
Yeah, it's really good. For anyone that isn't aware, so this isn't like an MCU film. It's not like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. It's none of that. It's an animated film. Sort of like... It's sort of standalone, but it also does reference previous Spider-Man films.
Okay.
There's like a little montage at the beginning where they're kind of like, oh, you're aware of me and my backstory. I'm the guy that did all these things, and like the upside down kiss in the rain and all that sort of stuff, like the iconic Spider-Man stuff. The story is there is a weird dimensional thing, and a bunch of Spider-Men are ripped from their universes and dimensions and all plonked into the same one, and they have to figure out how to get home. Meanwhile, you've got Miles Morales, who has just been bitten by a radioactive spider and is like learning his powers while this is all going on. And you have different Spider-Men at different stages of their lives as well.
Yeah, because this is, from the trailers, you've got like older Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Where he's like an adult and he's been Spider-Man for ages.
Yeah, like 20-something years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've also got Spider-Ham. We all know how I feel about that.
Yeah, how did you feel about him in this film?
Weakest part of the film, in all honesty. There was a couple of moments that I was like, oh, it sort of works, but the film wouldn't have suffered not having him in it.
Well, I'll go and see it, and I'll judge for myself. Thank you.
You have Spider-Man Noir,
Yeah.
voiced by Nicolas Cage. So that's
Oh,
as
is he?
that's as delightful
I
as
didn't
you
know
could
that.
expect.
Oh, that's cool.
You've also got Penny Parker,
Yep, I
which
think
is
I know
like
Penny
an
Parker.
anime style Spider-Man from the year like 21
Yeah.
36 or something.
Yeah, is she the one with like the spider mech suit or
Yeah.
whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously Gwen Stacy. It's good. The story's good. For me, I was talking to Kat afterwards, and she kind of suggested this, and I was like, yeah, I agree with that. A little bit more humour. Just there was humour in it, but I could have done just a tad more.
Yeah.
But otherwise, good. Really enjoyed the soundtrack. It's a solid 4 out of 5.
Oh, cool.
I enjoyed it. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Highly
There's literally 2 films that I desperately want to see. One of them I need to see before it comes out of cinemas.
Which is?
I want to see Assassination Nation.
I've missed that one. I want to see it, but I don't think it's playing in our local.
I need to look up because I think I've probably missed it as well, and I really wanted to see it.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Verse.
Yeah. What about Aquaman?
I'm so indifferent to it. Everyone on the podcast knows my thoughts of the DC universe, which now no longer exists. Maybe who the fuck knows? They're still doing films for it. It's all a bit of a shit show.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Even if people, because I loved what someone pointed out to me, they were like, because I was like, oh, I hate all the DC films, and they were like, Wonder Woman. And I was like, yeah, all right. I loved Wonder Woman. That's a good film.
Yeah.
And I don't mind Suicide Squad. I'm like
Yeah.
in a minority in that I quite enjoy Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just so unexcited about DC at the moment.
I think this is kind of the problem, because I think we were discussing this, and I remember before Justice League, we were having a discussion where it was like, you didn't like Man of Steel and you didn't like Batman vs Superman, but you did like Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman. So I was like, well, that's a 50% batting average. So it's obviously not great, but
it's not their headliners, and they're the ones they were pushing them for Justice League and stuff.
Yeah.
So admittedly, Aquaman, you can make that same argument, but I didn't like fall in love with Aquaman in Justice League. I wasn't like, holy shit, I need this character. In fact, I believe it might have even been on the podcast us talking about Aquaman being announced and just being like, why the fuck would you do Aquaman?
Yeah.
They've got the Flash. And they picked Aquaman.
I know. I think they are working on a Flash film.
But it's why? Do that one first, because they've already gained so much fucking negativity around their franchise.
Honestly, so everyone knows I was a big fan of Batman vs Superman. I was less of a fan of Wonder Woman, and I hated Justice League. So I've heard good things about Aquaman, and I like Jason Momoa, which is pretty much the only reason why I want to go see it.
He's great.
Yeah, I just want to see what they do with it. It could go really well. It could go really... It's sort of like Venom for me, where it's real 50-50. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I want to go in for the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'll enjoy it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows? Have you been to cinema or read any books or
Not done
TV
cinema
shows?
or books, but I finished Spyro 2
Okay.
on the PS4. Fucking good. Spyro games are great. They're just good time killers.
100%.
You can just sit down and 100% of what I wanted to do is done.
Well, that's not 100% though, is it?
No, but you don't need 100%, because it turns out even when you get 100% on all these things, Liam, the rarest achievement you've got is still owned by like 900 people, so hardly worth it.
I wonder how many users there are though, because if it's like millions, that's pretty...
So listeners, that was me referencing that, I don't know if you know, but PlayStation just did this like 5 years of PlayStation, create your video of your 5 years, and it did all this like, the top games you've played, as in like how long you spent on games, and it gave you the top 5. It also did the number of trophies you've got and the rarest trophy you've got, as in how many other players have got the same trophy.
Yeah.
Liam's was from some obscure game.
It's one that Dan recommended.
Oh, yeah, I do sort of vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Mine is from Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Yeah, which I also have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just love the fact that it's the rarest achievement I have, and I don't know why. And I don't even know which one it is. It's like a weird one. It's not even like a do some hard stuff. It's just like a bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's because
touch hands.
If you think VR is already limiting your amount of people, and then Star Trek VR, especially those ones where it's like it requires a group of 4 people.
Yeah,
that's probably why it's as rare as it is.
That's true. But anyway, so yeah, I've been playing Spyro 2. I've started Spyro 3 as well. Hopefully get that finished soon. They're not particularly long games.
No, I think the first Spyro took me like 3 days of just playing in the evenings.
I think the second one's longer, especially if you're 100%ing it. It'll probably be longer because I think there's more levels in it. And then Spyro 3, you get skateboarding, so that's fucking exciting. But yeah, Spyro 2 is like, I think better than the first one, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. What did you give the first one?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think I probably gave it a 4.
I mean,
so I'm going to give
Spyro
this
2 could still be a 4, but just a higher 4.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 4,
Yeah.
but I think it's very... the first one's got the nostalgia for me. That's the one I played the most as a kid. So going and playing old levels and being like, I remember all of this was really fun. But Spyro 2, they improve on some stuff and add some mechanics, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. They clearly this was the game where they were like, oh, Spyro is a thing now. We should make a...
Yeah, I need to... The thing, I got really into my PlayStation when I was playing Spyro, and I had like a load of VR games that I was into. Then
Tetris.
Red Dead came out, and I've just stopped playing because I just can't get into Red Dead. And I know what I need to do, which is stop playing Red Dead and go back to all the games that I was enjoying and spending a lot of time with. But I just haven't yet. I'm not quite ready to give up on Red Dead yet. I want to see what
Liam's also got to watch, 90-something films to get his number down. So he's, having to stop the PlayStation a bit.
It's okay.
Housekeeping.
I'd like to keep that house, please.
Smooth.
Thanks. Corey tweeted us, wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you, Corey. Thank you for still listening. Tweet us more. I like Corey, and he used to tweet us a lot, and now he'll tweet us being like, oh, I'm listening to Nerd on Nerd, which I appreciate.
Don't call people out. Jesus Christ.
That's how you do it.
This is why we don't get correspondence. Can you imagine if you were a listener to this show and you were like, you know what, I will tweet. And Liam's always asking for people to tweet. And the moment you tweet, all you get is, tweet us more. You're not tweeting enough.
I don't care.
Go home, Liam.
No. We've still got half a show to go.
Let's just end it.
No,
let's end the entire thing.
Thank you. Could you imagine if we chose the Christmas festive special to be like, oh, we have an announcement to make?
And just right in the middle.
Yeah, Nerd on Nerd is that's it.
We're done.
And then, even better, imagine if now your Audacity fucks up and the rest is just silence. Poor Amanda will be listening to it.
She would be such. Is this? I don't know if this is a bug or if you've genuinely stopped Nerd on Nerd.
There's still an hour of silence left. Is it a festive prank? No. Thank you for tweeting us, Corey. Thank you for still listening, and thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. The only reason why I want people to tweet us more, it's just because I like hearing from them. And I don't think that should be a crime. You shouldn't make me feel bad for that.
I'm not making you feel bad. I know you.
Well, I felt bad. So that was your doing. Joey tweeted us from Zack Attack.
Yep.
Basically, he was going to see Anna and the Apocalypse, and I got really jealous, and I just tweeted him about that.
Fair enough.
That's it. It wasn't even like he tweeted us out of nowhere. It was a response.
No,
to
you were tweeting him. Yeah, I don't know if you can read that out and claim it's correspondence when you're tweeting him.
No, don't worry. Tom Hogan tweeted us saying that he too has listened to every episode. So thank you, Tom. That's 2 people that have listened to So this is what, episode 79, is it?
Yeah, Jesus.
And if we average, I reckon probably about 2 hours an episode at this point.
It might be. It would probably average out at 1 hour 45. To be fair, I know there's been a lot of long ones recently, but I think it would still average out at about 1:45. But that is still a long fucking time they've been listening to us.
So thanks, Tom. Always appreciate hearing from you.
That was Liam trying to have a dig at you there, Tom, implying you don't talk to him enough.
Don't say that.
Well, it's true.
I was actually
Christmas.
No,
Liam, you can't lie at Christmas.
Okay, so I won't. I was actually quite pleased with myself there because I thought that was a really nice way of indirectly saying tweet us more.
It was. I'm proud of you.
But then you just called it out.
I still called it out. You got to learn.
I don't want to learn.
I'm your mentor.
No. Thanks, Tom. Amanda tweeted us saying she forgot to write in when she listened, but great episode. Thank you, Amanda. She said that she thinks the 2 episodes that really hooked her into being a regular listener was the Spider Baby one, which was actually our 2nd ever episode, so it didn't take long to hook her.
To be fair, that's also... I remember that episode because I remember our conversation about Spider Baby, and I think that was actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, she said it was because your notes were hilarious.
I haven't done the notes for a while. We should bring back the notes.
I was hoping you'd bring it back for this one, but I forgot to specifically ask you to.
I was going to, and then just sort of didn't in the end.
Fair enough.
But I should have, because this is the kind of film. My notes worked for this kind of film.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And Amanda said the 2nd episode that hooked her was the D&D one where I had Carlos the dwarf.
Carlos the fucking dwarf.
Both made Amanda laugh out loud. She did spell laugh wrong, but we can forgive typos.
This one's not going on Amanda's favourite episode list.
Oh, no. Well, honestly, it doesn't matter because she did another tweet saying, and sorry, Liam, but introducing Ellie as my favourite episode, I recommend it to people all the time. So great.
Good episode.
Thanks, Amanda. You're part of the problem. Can I ask you something, Ellie? Genuinely, do you think that introducing Ellie is like a good introduction episode for people to listen to? Because I feel like it doesn't give them a true flavour of what our typical episode is truly like.
No, it is good, because if they listen to any other episode, they're probably not going to listen to any more. At least with that one, they'll listen and they'll go, oh, okay, well, I can get on board this show. Then they listen to like one more episode and they go, no,
they've lost me with the bickering and the arguing and Liam being an arse and Ellie being mean and horrible to him. Bullying, some would say.
Not bullying. I'm not bullying you.
Have you done any other...
Don't pull a face.
Have you done any other, like, catching up on other culture swaps and stuff?
Nah. You?
Nah.
We're useless.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Crossed, we've got Berserk, I've got Attack on Titan. The list is building.
It is. It just gets longer and longer.
I thought by now you'd have done more Spider-Gwen.
I was going to.
What happened?
And by that I mean literally on the way home today I went, I should have done more Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm curious about, I don't know if you've seen, but Monster Hunter World is getting an expansion that's all icy, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And obviously we did Monster Hunter World for one of our culture swaps. You got
and
really into it.
And it's my most played game on the PS4.
It is. You got very into it. Didn't know if you were going to
like
maybe...
Monster Hunter World.
Because I think when we discussed last time, you said there was more that you wanted to get out of it. You weren't like done with it, but then you magpied.
But then I stopped.
Yeah.
Well, listeners, again, I am the magpie.
Yeah.
My gaming.
I am the walrus. Goo goo gajoob.
Let's just move on. I like
that. Culture swap.
Oh, before we go into culture swap, Liam.
Yeah.
You silly Billy.
I've started now. I've started when I'm editing the YouTube. I'd have cut right there. I'd have gone. Oh,
Liam.
Culture swap.
Who's that? Can you hear that? It's footsteps on the roof. Who is it? Oh, it's Santa. What's he bringing? Oh, he's got me a list. And that list says that last check you had 1,094 films to watch.
Do you want to remind our listeners? Remind our listeners of what the goal was.
So,
for any new
Liam's
listeners,
only goal for this year was he had to get below the original starting number, which is 1,091. So, listeners, you're hearing that.
And I did really good. I did really good this year.
I mean, there were some good numbers this year. We still got an episode to go as well, listeners. This isn't the end yet. Yeah. But, you know, this year, Liam there was one episode where he was minus 22 films off the list. Minus 10 was a second, like a close second to that. Last episode, it was 27 added on. And that's not great. That was the worst of the year. But we all know Liam. He doesn't do anything stupid. He only had 3 films to watch. He's already met his goal, probably. We're just doing a quick little summary. Go on, Liam. What's the number? 1,090? Just one below. That's all you need.
That's all I need. That's all I need.
What films did you buy, you dick?
What was... I can't even remember what the punishment was going to be, or the reward.
The punishment I will double check before next episode, but I believe that it was I get to pick 5 films out of your 1,000 and whatever it is.
Okay.
That you have to watch. Before you can watch any other films, you have to work your way through those 5.
Yeah.
I think you can still go to the cinema and shit.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't think you can... Yeah, I think you have to watch those 5 films.
Yeah.
What's the number?
What was it last time?
1,094?
Oh, that was good, wasn't it? That was...
I mean, it was a bad increase. That was the 27 increase.
It was bad, but it was achievable,
so
wasn't it? It was so achievable.
Had Disney turned up at that point?
Nah.
Had Criterion turned up at that point?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the 27
that was 27.
Criterion.
Yeah.
So it's a minimum of 50.
So it's gone up.
Has it gone up? Okay.
I've
got a feeling you're going to tell me it's more than 50.
No, I don't think it is.
Oh, okay.
Because I already had a fair few Disney films already on the list.
Oh, that's a good point.
So you can't add it onto the list twice, can you?
You could, but you cheat and you don't.
Yeah. So I'll be honest. It's been a bad week for this because I basically gave up.
Yeah,
I gave up.
I think he gave up. I think you gave up in the episode, in last episode. I think you said I'm done, and I was like, well, you are only 3 away from the goal.
I've given up. I went to HMV. I did a 5 for 30.
Oh, but you're like an addict.
What's the point?
Well, you could have made it still.
I couldn't.
Why are you talking so pathetically? What's happening?
It's okay. The current number.
You've reverted to like a 5-year-old kid. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't. The current number is 1,137.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Liam.
So you think before my 5 for 30, I was on 1,132? So what's the point?
I mean, I'm just doing a quick check. This is officially, listeners, the worst Liam's list has been in the entire time we've been doing the list.
It's almost as
so
if
not
this isn't
only
helping.
Not only are you ending this year on a low
Yeah.
of having just given up,
Yeah.
you're ending it in the worst position you've ever been.
Yeah, it's almost as if doing this isn't helping.
No, I disagree. It was helping. You gave up. And listeners, just a quick reminder, because Liam forgot that he'd said this. I don't know how. It was a pretty big announcement he did a couple of episodes ago. Liam did say he's going to get below 1,000 next year.
Okay.
You can't change the rules of the bet. You announced that and said it on the episode.
I've been
That's
thinking
official.
about this. No,
you don't get to rethink it.
No. Hear me out.
Okay.
I would only have to watch like about 10 a month to get to below 1,000.
Listeners, because I genuinely think, honestly, if you go back to last Christmas episode or possibly the New Year's episode, I guarantee that you will be able to find an audio snippet of Liam calculating how many films he has to watch and very proudly going, I'd only have to watch this many films next year. I guarantee you'll get that snippet.
I mean, if you think, last year it was literally, I have to watch one.
Last year you were doing so well. It was like the easiest goal you've ever had.
Why have we made it harder then? So, okay, let's think about this.
Harder.
No. All right. No, okay, Ellie.
Yeah.
Let's think about this, right? The initial goal, the very first time we started doing this, the initial goal was below 1,000, right?
Yeah.
And I failed, and I was at 1,091, right?
Well, you started at 1,091.
Yeah.
You ended that first year on 1,100.
Yeah. So the next goal was to get below 1,091, right? So that was a 91 increase on my goal, yeah?
Yeah.
So the next goal should be get below another 91 increase. And that would be improvement, wouldn't it?
What I will say, Liam, is the official... I think at this moment in time, the official goal is 1,000. You announced that. What I will allow is on the next episode, the New Year's special, the year roundup, if you can come to me with an offer of terms, so the lot, like you're losing punishment and my prize for winning, effectively, although I don't count it as me winning. But if you can
There's no winners in this game.
No, if you can give me such a good, like, if I lose, I'm going to have to do this thing. And if that thing is good enough to sway me to allow you a higher goal, I can be swayed. That is the deal here. But you have to come to me with a good offer.
I don't think I'll be able to.
It's either you get below 1,000 with, let's say, the standard terms of this year's deal. That seems fair to me.
No.
But unfortunately, I'm running the game, Liam. I am the dungeon master in real life, Liam. That was a callback, listeners.
Callback to an early episode.
One of Amanda's favourites. No, wait, that was a different one, actually, I think. I don't know.
No, I think that was one of Amanda's favourites, yeah.
I'm having a mental breakdown. Anyway, listeners, that's where we currently stand with the fun game that I played with Liam.
What do you think the terms should be? Because I think if our listeners could come up with a term, instead of me, they're like an impartial third party, right?
Yeah, that's fair. All right, listeners, if you can come up with a deal to entice me away from the 1,000 goal, because we all know he's not going to make that, I'm willing to listen. Yeah. I can be swayed.
Yeah, I think we should put the onus on the listeners.
No, I'm keeping the onus, but, like, because what will happen is, Amanda's going to feel sorry for you, and she's going to give you an easy target and be like,
please,
and
Amanda.
his punishment's just got to be that he gets to eat some sweets. And that's not fair.
Amanda, please be kind to me. Amanda, you know the struggles I face with this sort of thing.
You can be kind to him. This whole thing started as me trying to help you, and I genuinely still want to. So if someone can get... It just has to be tantalising enough that there's that chance he might fail and that something very funny might happen. I don't mind what.
I also think Tom should weigh in on this.
That's true, Tom.
Because he's been following. He's seen the trials and tribulations of this fucking stupid thing.
Yeah. So listeners, for next episode, send in some feedback. Let us know what Liam's goal should be and what his punishment should be for failing.
Yeah.
I think at this point we've just got to scrap the idea that you get a reward. I think failing 2 years in a row means you don't get a reward.
I should get
the
a
reward.
reward.
Is you don't get punished.
Alright. What if, as my punishment, I get to like take a tasteful nude and post that?
That's not a punishment for you. You'd love it.
I really would. Or like a... hang on. How about a nude calendar?
No, we're moving on. Culture swap.
Swap my culture. Which one do you want to do first?
I think we should start with Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I agree. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Better watch out.
So, listeners, this is the third in the series. We've done Silent Night, Deadly Night, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Can you,
Fast,
Ellie,
Furious.
could you just give us a quick plot synopsis of what happened in Silent Night, Deadly Night 1?
Yeah, I can. A guy named Billy witnesses Santa murder his parents.
And rape his mum.
And rape his mum.
Yeah.
This scars him for life. He's
Obviously.
got a perpetual fear of Santa. He sort of lives a normal life apart from this one time a year where it's really stressful for him. Gets
Well,
a
he
job at a
also
toy
is in that
store.
orphanage with the creepy like nun lady that
Yeah, so
teaches
he
him the
gets
whole
punished
punishment
for
thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of punishments. He's a poor kid, you know. He goes to work in a toy store as an adult. They get him to dress up as Santa. He goes crazy.
Gets
Kills a lot
triggered.
of people. Yeah, he kills a lot of people. Eventually gets shot to death in front of his younger brother,
Yeah.
Ricky.
Thank you. So, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. We open and we witness Billy witnessing the murder and rape of his mother. We then go on to see him go through the mean orphanage where a nun abuses him. He then gets a job at a toy store where they make him dress up as Santa, and he goes on to kill a lot of people. Interspersed with this are images of Ricky doing creepy things like getting right behind the therapist and being like, "And that's not all they did." And eventually he shouts "Garbage Day," the younger brother, and
Shoots some
a
people.
man. Yeah.
Which leads us nicely into Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Better watch out after Ricky, I think in the end of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, gets shot.
Yeah,
Presumed
I
dead?
don't super remember the end. To the
Oh, maybe you
second
should
one.
watch it again then.
I was tempted to, but then I was like, I would have to also sit through an hour of just number one again.
Yeah, so you don't have to watch number 1 at least.
This is true. If we ever do recap them, we can just watch 2 onwards.
The only problem is you missed the best scene from number 1.
What is the best scene from number 1?
It's the song montage where Billy's working at the toy store and the warm side of the door is playing.
Yes, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just beautiful. If the second film included that montage in its
It
recap,
would be perfect.
its 40-minute recap, it would make number 1 entirely redundant.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we watched number 3, which so this is the thing. You're more of like an expert on like the slasher films of this era than I am. Like I've seen a lot of them, but I don't know. You've always struck me as more of the
I've seen a lot
guy
more,
to talk
probably,
to.
yeah.
Yeah. So, is it common for these sort of films? Because there always seems to be a point where one of the films starts to go a little bit crazy.
Yeah?
And I know Silent Night, Deadly Night, number 1 and 2, well, specifically 2, is already going a little bit crazy. But this one, we're like dumped in the deep end of like that 80s, like, what do we do with a sequel? I guess a psychic girl and a killer with his brain in effectively a jar
Yeah.
on top of his head.
It's definitely starting to go crazy. I think we have to prepare ourselves for the fact that there's still 2 more to come, so...
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for 4 because you've been building up 4 for like 3 years now.
It's my favourite.
Yeah.
The issue is, obviously, when I saw it, this was way back when I still thought Feast was good. So...
This is true. It could be abysmal.
It really
if we
could.
get to the end of this series and we're both like, well, that was shit, I'm going to be a bit disappointed.
I think we should prepare ourselves for that possibility. Maybe even
All right.
inevitability.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, this came out in 1989, which you think 80s was really the heyday for the slasher craze.
Yeah.
And by 1989, it really was, right, what can we do different now? Because you think 90s was when it went all postmodern and was like Scream in 94, which was essentially critiquing the slasher rules. So we're only like 5 years out of from that at this point.
Yeah, and I guess they're also sort of
Was Scream
competing
96?
with each other.
I think Scream was 96. That was my bad. But yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was
because
96.
you're releasing your new slasher film, Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, but you've got the Freddy stuff, the Jason stuff, and you're like, well, they're already like, I don't think Jason was in space by this point, but that's what,
No,
you
he
know what I
wasn't.
mean? Like,
That was early 2000s.
you've seen them start to do these crazier and crazier things, so then you're like, well, shit, we've got to do the same thing. Because this one is definitely This is the one where, like, 2 is ridiculous, and it's badly acted, and I love it.
Yeah.
But this one is definitely, like, the plot has just sort of gone a bit mental.
It's going that way, definitely.
I mean, it's effectively listeners, by the way, there are spoilers for Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Obviously. You should know that by now, but I will say it now because we haven't really spoiled anything yet, but we will do if you want to see it.
Yeah.
You follow Laura, I believe her name is.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Who is a blind woman.
Yes.
Who has psychic powers.
Yeah.
She doesn't know she's psychic really, or she doesn't think she is. She sort of knows there's something.
Yeah, just tying this back to what you were previously saying, I just had to do some quick check-in.
Oh, okay.
Bear in mind, in 1988, so a year before this came out, you had Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, which is essentially Carrie versus Jason, because it's a girl with telekinesis powers.
Right, so it was these things are starting to go psychic.
Yeah. Sorry, as you were.
Yeah, so this one we're following Laura, a blind psychic girl who is being experimented on by a doctor.
Who puts her to is in Twin Peaks, fun fact, which we've discussed previously on the podcast.
Fair enough.
There's 3 people in this that have gone on to work with David Lynch later on, and 2 of the people were also in Twin Peaks.
Interesting. Liam's fun fact of the day.
There might be more, who knows?
Who knows? But this doctor's experimenting on her by putting her to sleep, and she then is sort of psychically going into the dreams of Ricky,
who's in a coma.
Serial killer from the second one.
But he's in a coma.
Who is in a coma and has been for 6 years, I believe.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Is the idea.
Yeah.
She goes into his dreams, and in those dreams, he tries to murder her, sometimes as Santa, sometimes as himself, who is this sort of slightly disfigured guy with literally a Perspex dome over his head that lets you see his brain.
It's a bold look.
It is. Just very quickly, I'm sort of jumping ahead because this isn't part of the plot, but one of my favourite parts is he wears a hat at one point, and this Perspex bowl on his head has got this metal ring around it that locks it onto his head, and he wears this beanie wool cap, and it doesn't cover it.
No.
It covers his brain, but you can very clearly see that he's got this metal ring embedded in his head. Good times.
Yeah, fashion isn't a high priority. I mean, he's got other things going on.
He has.
Yeah.
He's got other things going on, like he wants to kill Laura.
Or I don't even know if he wants to kill her necessarily.
I don't think he does. I think they sort of imply that it's more of I don't know. Well, he's almost
I guess it's as much as she can see him, he sees her.
Yeah.
Because he goes to her grandmother's house.
Yeah.
So I think it's more of he feels that connection there. I don't think he necessarily wants to kill her.
Yeah, because at the end he doesn't super try to kill her, where he is definitely trying to kill everyone else.
Yeah.
But this is he doesn't actually kill a whole lot of people in this film.
No, there's no.
There's one death.
No, there's a couple
one death.
More.
There's one death right at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's true. He kills the Santa. He kills the receptionist.
Yeah.
He kills the brother's girlfriend.
Yeah, he kills the truck driver guy.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I forgot about the truck driver guy. Yeah. So I mean, he gets a few.
Yeah, he gets the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor's an idiot though.
Yeah, he kind of deserves it.
I mean, this film. The thing is, guys, the plot. That's kind of it. It's just Laura sees in his brain. He wakes up because a drunk Santa comes into the hospital.
Yeah. And
tries to drink in the same room as him, which triggers him. He then goes on.
The drunk Santa is a bit mean as well. Calls him a vegetable and asks him who his favourite singer is, and then makes a terrible joke about it being Perry Como or someone.
Oh yeah.
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 So
it's just it falls into the same problems that number 2 had with the acting. A lot of the actors in this film are not great, and I don't want to disparage them, but there's a lot of scenes that have that sort of cheesy. There's a couple of oh no's.
See, I'd almost disagree. I actually like a lot of the actors in it. I just think the script isn't very good.
There was definitely the main actors are good. Laura, her brother, the girlfriend. I think their acting's fine.
Yeah, so Bill Moseley plays Ricky, and I feel like he's not really given a chance to act.
No, Ricky is the true shambling serial killer where he just walks at a very slow pace, occasionally mumbles Laura or Ricky.
Yeah, that's about it. So Bill Moseley is now really well known for being in a lot of horror films. I'm pretty sure he was in one of the Texas Chainsaw sequels, but he's also more recently been in like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. Have you seen those films?
I haven't.
We should add them to our list of future culture swaps. At least House of a Thousand Corpses. Kat hates it. I don't mind it.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a
clowns in it.
It's got a young Chris Hardwick in it and a young Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, I know of the film.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's a famous scene on the stairs with some cutting of legs, I believe.
Is there?
Maybe not.
We'll have to watch it and find out.
We'll find out.
But yeah. So yeah, Bill Moseley is like an icon of horror almost. But when you look at him here, you're just like, oh, what? No.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, no, it's just slow, shambling serial killer.
I thought it was interesting that there was a blind lead character.
Yep.
Obviously, when I picked this series to do 3 years ago, I didn't realise the significance of that. And it when I was watching this, I wondered something.
Go on.
This being our, festive Christmas special, if I get like fully blind and Kat like leaves me because she just can't deal with how much of a nuisance it is, will you help look after me?
I genuinely would.
That's what I was hoping.
I'm not even joking. I genuinely look after you.
You just like drive me around to like hospital appointments and watch me get psychically connected to comatose serial killers. But
yeah, I feel like it'd be worse for you because you'd be like, where are we going, Ellie? And I'd be like, oh, this doctor totally said he can cure you. And then you'd be lying next to a serial killer and I'd be like, I've seen Silent Night, Deadly Night 3.
This is going to end well.
Yeah.
Also, why is his brain exposed in a jar? But yeah, no, honestly, I was just wondering. I was like, I wonder who... Like, my mum, obviously, but she ain't going to be around forever. So then I was like, who's going to help?
I would genuinely come and look after you.
I'm scared by
Not
that,
even
though.
look after you, because there's a lot of stuff you could probably do by yourself. Like,
I wouldn't
being
want
blind
to, though.
Isn't, no, but being blind isn't, like, the end of the world. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it is a horrible thing. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be like, oh, fucking don't worry about it, Liam. But it's not like you turn blind and then...
I think as long as I had people that could help, it would be a little bit more manageable.
And to be fair, I think the portrayal of, like, other people in this film, I don't think that's accurate to today. Like, the nurse in this... There's literally a scene where Laura has just left this, like, experiment right at the beginning. She comes out and she says to this nurse, the reception lady, and she's like, oh, hi, can you tell me when my brother gets here?
Yeah.
She's holding it... She's literally been using her cane to get around. She's very clearly blind. And the lady's like... what do I look... I think she says, like, what do I look like or something?
Yeah,
I was like, well, no, firstly, she's blind, so that's just not nice. And
So
then...
it was this scene that made me think of asking you this. Because I was like, well, at least she has her brother to help. I don't have siblings.
Yeah,
So-
I'd be like the cool older brother, but a girl.
Yeah, makes sense.
And you'd be the blind younger sister, but a boy.
But a boy. Yeah.
And older. Very confusing.
Who would you share a bath with? Because the thing that makes me a little bit... The question mark I have over this film, right, is the older brother's girlfriend looks a lot like his blind sister.
She does.
So, would you be sharing a bath with someone that looks a lot like me? Is the real question that we're getting to here.
I hope not.
Thanks.
Sorry. You're not my type, mate.
No, that's good. That'd be worrying if I was. Imagine if this is
fair,
how you
wouldn't
told
know.
me.
I just lean in and go, don't worry, Liam, he doesn't look like you.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. But I could do the whole like feel in the face, and I'd be like, that's a big nose, and those are some big lips. Anyway, back to the film.
Back to the movie.
I actually thought the actress who played Laura, whose name is Samantha Scully, I thought she did really good.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think
don't
she
know how accurate.
Believably portrayed a blind person in this film.
Yeah, there were a couple of bits where I was like, I don't think that's how being blind works necessarily, but like, she's clearly a sighted actor who.
Yeah, and there was a couple of nice touches that I liked, like when she was pouring drinks. The way that blind people hold glasses is they have like a finger over the rim, so when they're pouring, they can tell when to stop.
Yeah,
and there was a couple of those little touches that were in there that I was like, clearly they've probably like done a bit of research to this.
I feel like there's a lot of effort went into this film in a lot of different areas. Unfortunately,
not the script.
The script wasn't one of those areas.
No,
It's a poor script.
There's a lot of this film that I was quite bored when I was watching.
Yeah. Like, the interesting bits are like obvious stuff, like when Ricky finally catches up to them at the house. It's not even then, to be honest. It gets interesting when they actually start confronting him.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole bit where, like, a lot of the time I didn't really understand what was meant to be happening. Like, the brother's girlfriend goes up to the door.
Yeah.
Ricky punches through it and grabs her.
Yeah. Chokes her.
Yeah, chokes her. Ricky gets stabbed in the hand.
Yeah.
Or the arm.
Yeah.
Lets her go. Then you get, like, 10 more minutes of the film where Ricky's not there. And they're, like, wandering around the house. And I was like, well, what's Ricky doing? Just standing outside being like, Laura.
Probably, yeah.
Laura.
That is quite a good impression.
It was. That wasn't me being a dick. That is genuinely how he sounds.
Yeah.
It's just things like that. They were just, which is down to the script. It's just weird little bits where you're like, it almost felt like this is meant to be reaching the pinnacle. Suddenly we plateaued and went up a bit. One
of my favourite bits, shouldn't be, it's also a bit tragic, is when, I think they're in like a basement or something. It's just Laura and Ricky facing off. The brother's been badly injured. He's lying down. Yep. And Laura, like, smashes a light and is like, now we're even. But what she doesn't realise is that there's a door that's ajar that's letting in a lot of light. And you can still see everything pretty clearly.
Ricky's fine.
Like,
Ricky's not blind.
No, I don't think she realised that they really weren't even at that point.
No. I also but probably some of my favourite scenes come from the police captain.
Yeah.
Who is maybe the most incompetent police officer in the world.
When he just starts selling the cellular phone. Just like a sales pitch for a cellular phone halfway through. Yep.
Also when he's got the doctor in his car who's been working on this project for years, who is clearly kind of insane. He's like talking about how Ricky's not actually a murderer.
Yeah.
This is the solution to all murders. They will save everyone by doing this.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not going to kill Ricky, right? The policeman's like, well, no, we will if we have to. And he's like, oh, yeah, don't kill Ricky. And then the police officer just pulls up in a parking lot and goes, give me a second, gets out the car, leaves his keys in, wanders off for a little bit, and then is shocked when the...
It's not just give me a second. Away. He's like, oh, I need to go and drain the lizard or something.
That's
drain
it,
the reptile.
He makes a shitty pee joke.
Yeah.
And then he's shocked when the doctor rides away.
Yeah. And
then, to be fair, the policeman kind of does nothing. Just right at the end, he's like, you all right, Laura? She's like, yeah.
Yeah. I think this is the weakest of the entire series from my memory.
Including one.
I quite like one.
I don't remember what my thoughts on one. I remember it being very long and not interesting for a lot of it.
It's not that long. One has some iconic scenes. It has the warm side of the door. It has the lady being impaled on the antlers.
This is true. No, I think one struggled at the beginning, but then becomes a better film. Whereas this film, is not great for most of it.
Yeah,
if not all of it.
But we had to get this one done because you need to see how it all pans out in number 4.
Yeah. So I'm assuming from this point on, and I guess you're not going to tell me, but I'm assuming Ricky is the serial killer now.
We'll have to wait and see. We've just got 1 year to wait.
I hope he gets more glass bulbs on him. Like, now that he's been shot by a shotgun in the shoulder, so they put a little glass bulb on his shoulder.
You just see his heart through it.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me. By the end, he is literally just a glass bowl rolling around.
Oh,
dressed as Santa.
And you shake him up and all his organs start moving around. I think I've said this before, but genuinely, while 4 is my favourite, I think your favourite is going to be 5, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
So
I think you have said that before.
That is kind of what we're building to here.
Yeah, we were getting 1, 2, and 3 out of the way so we could get to 4 and 5.
Yeah, exactly. This was a 5-year project that we started. We was aware of that. We was optimistic that the podcast would last that long. We're over halfway. A bold decision. Yeah. Exactly,
we're nearly there.
Yeah. The thing is, I've got a lot of other Christmas films that I want to introduce you to, but we've just got to get through these first.
Yeah, started this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, there's one called Tangerine that I genuinely would really like your thoughts on.
Is that the transgender one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch that before you recommend it on the podcast.
Let's find out. We've only got 3 years to wait.
Yep. We'll see.
Yeah. But there's other Christmas horror ones as well that I haven't seen, but we can discover them together.
There's like Krampus and stuff that came out recently.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. And one called Rare Exports.
Oh, I didn't know, but I've not heard of that one.
There's another one that came out last year, I think, called Better Watch Out, which is the subtitle of this one.
Oh.
Is it related? Don't think so.
Is anyone rebooting Silent Night, Deadly Night?
I think it got a remake in 2012.
Did it actually?
I think so. So we can always do that.
We're going to have to do that as well. Oh my God, Liam just dropped his pen in rage.
I mean, yeah, we might have to do that, but we'll see. Do you really want to commit to another year of
No,
Silent Night
I really
films?
don't. I really don't. I mean, so far, number 2 has been my favourite so far.
I see why. What would you give this out of 5?
My heart's telling me 3, but that seems too high.
That's way too high.
Yeah. I think it's maybe a 2.
Yeah,
I think my
I'm
heart's
at a
being
2.
a little bit too Christmassy.
Yeah. I think, like the Grinch, your heart grew a few too many sizes there.
But I've pushed it back.
That's the way to do it.
2.
Yeah, it's a 2 from me.
It's not a great movie. It's just, it feels like a very generic slasher film of that era. It feels like someone going, I want to do a slasher film. I know it isn't that because it already had its franchise and whatever, but it does feel like, what are the others doing? Let's just do that.
Let's just make some money.
Yeah, exactly. I did read online that the director of this film, I believe, said it was his proudest. He was so proud of this film, right? And I was like, oh, okay. This was before I watched it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I read down, and the reason he was so proud is not a good reason, because he said he was so proud of how quickly they did it, because they turned around a script in a week and shot it all in about 2 months.
Believable.
I think total this film took about 3 months to do.
Yeah, so there's a bit of trivia here on IMDb that said the original script was discarded and rewritten in 1 week. That started in March of 1989. Yep. Principal photography had finished by the end of April. Editing was done in May, and the movie was first screened in July. So
it's literally just... And he was like, I'm so proud that we did that. And I was like, oh, well, you shouldn't have been.
Yeah. So the director has said at a screening of this film in 2008 that he thought that this film was his best work, but not his best movie. I
don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah.
This is my best work, but not my best movie.
I guess
does he mean like you said, because put much effort into a better movie?
Oh no, maybe it's because, like you said, because he turned it around so quickly. He was like, "Oh, I worked really hard on that.
My work was good." Yeah, okay.
But I've as a cohesive whole. But again, if it comes down to script at the end of the day,
and that is the weakest part.
Yeah, maybe they should spend more than a week on it. But it's not the director's fault if the script is weak. Which might be why he's like, "It's my best work." He's like, "Well, I did the best I could with the script that I was given, but I've had previous better movies because the script I was given were better."
Possibly.
But yeah, I think 2 out of 5 is fair. Dear listener, did you get festive with Silent Night 3? Let us know.
Let us know.
We didn't stop with Silent Night 3 though, did we? We had more festivities to partake in.
Liam had his tradition. He gives me a Silent Night, Deadly Night film. I had sort of started a tradition where I was giving Liam films he should have seen at Christmas that he might have missed. So we've had The Grinch, Santa Claus,
Elf,
yeah. All films that I'm like, these are classic Christmas films. But I kind of run out. Like, there's other classic Christmas films, but I've got my own list of shit that I should have seen at Christmas that I haven't.
And
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street. I've not seen them. These are like classic films that I should have seen. So I sort of ran out and I was like, oh, I don't really know what to do. So what I found, listeners, was a list of erotic Christmas books. And as listeners that heard last episode will know, I gave Liam a choice of 3. I did bias him a little bit because there was one that I wanted us to pick, which is the one we did pick.
Yeah.
It was Miss Claus Goes Sledding, Flick Lodges His Tongue, A Sultry Christmas Erotic Novel Book 1 or something. Sultry Miss Claus Erotic Novel Book 1.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's 28 pages of erotic Christmas fiction. So, Liam, do you want to give us just a quick plot synopsis of this book?
Miss Claus...
Oh, sorry, listeners. There will be spoilers for this book. So if you're desperate to read some...
The thing is, you could pause this, read it, and come back, and you'd only have lost about half an hour of your life.
It was 25 minutes.
Yeah. So, a brief plot synopsis. Miss Claus is a sex worker.
Yeah, she's a host.
A host? Escort?
I think they differentiate. I think she is one of the hosts.
Okay. And
people like famous characters like Pretzel, I think they're escorts.
Right, okay. She is a sex worker, though.
Yeah.
She is attending this place that
she works at the North Pole Club.
Yeah, which is obviously all done up Christmassy. There's like so if the North Pole is like a club, there's another part of the club that she doesn't really get to go to a lot. Is that the lodge? Well, okay, so the way they describe it is... So, listeners, the issue with this sort of book is it's written by someone very horny on the internet, and it's
not the best written thing.
No, it is hard to follow like locations and stuff sometimes. Yeah,
but the way I have pictured it from what I read, you've basically got like the central hub of the North Pole Club, right? Yeah. You've got your hosts, escorts, waiters and waitresses. You've got the guests.
Yeah.
Then branching off from that central hub are a number. There's a few different rooms, which are all themed.
Yeah.
So
like the lodge is one. You've got the
lodge
slopes.
is one. The slopes.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to have sex on a mountain in the cold?
Yeah.
So yeah. Miss Claus.
Yeah.
She's been set up with a client.
Fun Pete. That's
his name.
She takes him up the slopes. The problem with Fun Pete, though, he's had too much fun that night. He's drunk.
Bit of a drinker, is old Fun Pete. Which, to be fair, he's quite fun when he's drunk at the beginning.
Yeah.
He does get a little bit less fun.
Yeah. So, basically, half the book is spent you thinking she's going to fuck this guy that is just not described in a particularly appealing way at all.
No,
often described as sweaty.
He's a portly, sweaty gentleman wearing what they describe as a fleecy snowman costume.
Yeah.
Which I think just means he was literally wearing a jumper that's looks a bit like a snowman. Because the way they describe him, getting his dick out and stuff, is not conducive to a snowman costume.
No. So this book spends half of its time making you think that she's gonna have sex with him. Then something happens that we'll talk about. But I'm just doing a synopsis for now, so I don't want to go into it.
Yeah.
Something happens. She has to change track slightly, and she ends up with Flick, who is a guy dressed as an elf, who has tongue capabilities.
He is described as a tongue master.
Yes, that's right.
So, let your mind wander, listeners.
He has mastered the art of tongue punching.
He's got a 1-inch punch with his tongue.
Yeah. So that's the synopsis, right?
Yeah. I think that's a good synopsis. You've given us the key points there.
So if you were on the fence, I don't know if I want to watch this, I don't know if I want to read this or not. If that hasn't swayed you, get ready for spoilers. If it has swayed you, pause it right now, spend 25 minutes and read it.
It's literally only 25 minutes. You can knock it out.
Well,
you could probably read it quicker.
It depends. Yeah, it depends how much masturbation you're doing while you're reading it.
I'll be honest, the answer to that is most likely 0. Unless you're very horny already and you're like...
You literally just get to the front cover and you're like, that'll do.
Yeah. Because this book is...
not erotic.
Not really. It struggles.
There is... I sent this to Ellie earlier. There are 2 words that are put together in this erotic novel that I don't think belong in any erotic novel. Those 2 words, dear listeners, are... blood streak.
That's fair, but I would counter that Twilight erotic fiction.
Even so, it's the streak. Like
the
blood
streak is the
streak.
Weird bit. Yeah, that's not great.
Like I get why you might find blood in an erotic fiction. Doesn't do it for me, but I get how it might appear in there. But streak.
Yeah, I mean that's not even the least sexy part of this.
Oh no, it's not. No. There's many bits that are not sexy.
One issue I had was that the author clearly has...
The author is Sable Ray.
Sable Ray. Love her work.
Yeah,
absolute hero. Yeah. I've only read one book.
But she likes to write about massive tits. And I think that might be a direct quote.
She's got a... Oh no, I think it is. She's got a thing for big old tits.
Yep.
And Mrs. Claus is not shy about letting people know what she wants, and that is to
tit fuck.
Give them a tit fuck.
Yep. Tit fuck.
She just they make a point. This is one of my favourite things about that is they make a point that Fun Pete has a thing for boobs. So for the first part of the book, you're like, well, Mrs. Claus. She even says she's like, oh, she's got a friend who works at the place as well, Pretzel, who is an escort. So her job is not to have sex with the clients. She's meant to just show them around, but you all know Pretzel. Sometimes she sneaks off and gives them a bit of a BJ.
Which Miss Claus not a big fan of when that first happened.
No, she says at first she was like, oh, that's not very nice. That's not her job. But Pretzel and her are like best friends now.
Yeah.
As you see in the book. You don't. That doesn't happen. She literally Pretzel just says some weird shit.
Yeah. Well, no. Pretzel has like a bit of a code, right? Where the way it works.
Are you describing it as a code? Let me just see if I can find... You tell listeners how it works, and I'll find
the way it works is Pretzel will figure out what the client is into, and then through this very subtle coded message will regale that information to Miss Claus.
Yeah, so I will crack that code for you, listeners.
Does the book not even describe it as a code?
It might do. I found the bit.
Okay.
They might describe it as a code later on. Basically, we start with Fun Pete staring at Mrs. Claus's boobs.
Yeah.
Miss Claus, it starts here. It says, I raised my eyebrows and gave Pretzel a questioning look. Pretzel responds, I told Fun Pete you have really massive tits, said Pretzel, with a jolly tone, that you like to give titty fucks. I felt a jolt of electricity shoot through my groin. Pretzel was on good form tonight.
Yeah.
Their code is that Pretzel talks to the client, subtly figures out what they want, and then when Miss Claus rocks up, she just goes, told him you'd give him a good titty fuck.
Yeah.
Listeners, this is the only book I've ever gone through and actually highlighted using Kindle, which is a great feature. I've highlighted things like in the next scene after that. Pretzel says to Mrs. Claus, have a great time, Miss Claus, said Pretzel as she gave me a jolly wave. She said to Fun Pete, hope you enjoy having your gigantic cock between Miss Claus's massive tits. And then Miss Claus thinks to herself, geez, Pretzel, you are good. She's just so subtle. I love it. Pretzel's got that sort of spy knack to her. She can just figure these things out and subtly drop them into conversation.
Yeah. Bear with me a sec. I'm just trying to find a part to read out. Yeah, here we go. So, there's a bit in it. Pretzel was on good form tonight. We had an agreement that she would find out which explicit words my guests used before they were handed over to me, which I took to mean a bit of a code. Maybe I read too deeply into it.
It definitely... the implication, I think, is that it's meant to be subtle, and it isn't.
No.
Pretzel literally just talks to the guy and then goes, yeah, Miss Claus, he wants you to jerk off his dick with your big tits.
Yeah.
And Miss Claus is like, Pretzel's so good at this.
I don't go.
We have skipped over a couple of bits that I would like to point out.
Okay, let's do this.
The first thing I've highlighted in the book is, and I think I was giving this book too much credit because I've highlighted this, and the stuff I've highlighted later is just makes this pale in comparison. But I've highlighted, but I looked cute and sexy because they've italicized the word "and" there.
Yeah.
Almost like I looked cute and sexy. That doesn't feel like a hard thing to do. I mean, for me it is. I'm not cute or sexy.
Yeah,
but
same.
Do you know what I mean? So I started thinking I was going a bit too hard on the book there because the book is. I also highlighted a bit of. The book's not. So listeners, I think of myself as a bit of a progressive. I'm a transgender pansexual woman. I think that leads me to be a bit more sort of. I expect people to meet a bit of a higher standard than sometimes they do. This book has a line that is, I was equally pleasant to the female guests who were here to have fun with our hot male hosts. Why can the female people not be there for the females? I thought that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
I caught that early on.
There is some female on female stuff later on.
There is, but so early on I caught that and I was like, not sure about that.
Yeah.
Which later on, listeners, there is a scene where Miss Claus says to one of the serving staff, can you hold this dick for me? And then when he goes to do it, she's like, I can't believe you were actually going to do that, Speedy. Stop. And I was like, sorry.
Right, no. Let me question you on this, right?
Okay.
I don't have a horse in this game. I don't really care what the answer is. But trying to do the whole devil's advocate thing, could it be a professional thing? Like, he's a waiter. He shouldn't be touching, customers' dicks. Not from a, it's gay thing, but just from a professional... I could
see your argument for that, except
it
for the
gets
fact
undermined.
that it was followed by this line. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's very... I don't know. And I get it. It's erotic fiction.
It's not trying to change the world.
It sort of leads into one of my theories about Sable Ray.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
Okay,
and I'm saying this with no evidence to back it up.
Right. That's the best type of theory.
Except what's in this book. I have a suspicion that Sable Ray might not be a woman.
Well, can I read out to you about the author page?
Please do. I hope it just starts with Sable Ray as a woman.
The holidays are special to Sable Ray, and she loves to base her stories around the seasons. She aims to bring you a blush and a series of hot tingles as you turn the pages. She lives in the US with her sexy husband, who is intrigued and sometimes disturbed by her imagination. He is willing to help out with some of her experiments, even dressing as a holiday elf when necessary. That's commitment. She welcomes readers to leave reviews of her books on Amazon, Goodreads, and other sites. Please like and follow her on Facebook, facebook.com/erotic Sable Ray.
That's fair. And honestly, I could be being too judgmental, which I don't want to be. Like, I don't want to say, oh, a woman wouldn't write this, because there are women who are just as filthy as men.
And women can be terrible writers as well.
Exactly.
If
but when
anything,
you get a line
they're more
like,
inclined to be.
But when you get a line like, and my massive tits are looking forward to smothering your big cock, I don't know. It just doesn't... It doesn't scream, this is a female writer.
No. But this is like my first real reading of erotic fiction. And obviously we're on the fence, right, of who has written this. And I 100% get it doesn't sound like it's come from a female. But I have nothing to compare it to.
Well, we've watched 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Which was a book authored by a woman, which is erotica, sort of.
But I haven't read the book.
No, we haven't. And it could be that she does say, I want to smother your cock with my massive tits. We don't know that. And that's fair. I think I might be being too jugmental, Liam, and I think it's right that you've sort of called me out on that. So thank you.
I'm just trying to be, devil's advocate.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Equally, though, this is the thing. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just trying to say we could read something that from someone that we know is definitely female and suddenly see a very stark difference. Yeah,
could I just read you a different line? This isn't...
Yeah, no, go for it. Yeah.
I just wanted to read it because I've highlighted it. I wasn't standing in the right direction for the bar, so I couldn't tell if any of the staff were getting some freebies. Listeners, freebies are what the staff of this club call it when a serving staff member who they're not meant to masturbate, but sometimes it all gets a little bit too hot and they have a cheeky little wank, which they like to call a freebie.
Speedy does it a couple of times.
Speedy does do it a couple of times.
It's not why he's called Speedy.
No, it's not. It's because he's fast at getting drinks.
Yes.
So couldn't tell if any of the staff were getting some freebies, but I imagined they were self-pleasuring, so I ran my palms across my arse cheeks and opened the crack wide for a few seconds, so they could see my back door hole.
I remember that bit, the back door hole bit.
I highlighted it because I thought that was a particularly disgusting way to call your ass, my back door hole.
Yeah.
What is that? It's either, you could just call it a back door or a hole. It doesn't need to be both. It shouldn't be your back door hole.
Yeah, well, you've got to be specific. That's what you want from your erotica, right?
I don't know, man. I mean, this whole book is... it's so wild and out there. Like, the thing about erotic fiction that I find fascinating is it feels to me like a way for someone to write something. You're writing a story, and because the erotica is the main thing, right?
Yeah.
You can sort of just do whatever the fuck you want with the rest of it. Because this book is insane. The club they are in...
Doesn't make sense.
...is so out there. This book must be set in the far future for this stuff to happen.
Can I just read, like, a page of this, okay?
Yes, please do.
This is a page of a book whose... Really, the sole purpose of this book is to be enticing. It's to be erotic. Yeah. It's to, as the About the Author said, give you a little tingle, okay?
Yeah.
Just to set up the scene. Miss Claus and Fun Pete have gone up a chairlift. They have two options of how they get down. They can either sled down or rubber tube. Miss Claus gets on a sled. Off she goes. Fun Pete, very drunk.
Fun Pete is meant to get on the back of her sled.
Yeah.
But he kicks it by accident.
Yeah.
Bloody Fun Pete.
Off she goes. Fun Pete falls down this slope.
Yep.
So Miss Claus is now at the bottom. I jumped off and turned to see Fun Pete hurtling down the slope with his arms and legs splayed. He looked like a human snowflake. He spun wildly when he hit the slowdown ramp and returned to the lowest spot beside me. "My dick!" he cried, with his bare ass in the air. He was cupping his groin. "My dick's on fire!" Flake had jumped onto an empty sled and landed near us. She ran over, thanks to her rubber-soled boots, to gauge the situation. "Oh my God, is he okay? You need to call the nurse. Now," I said, worried that Fun Pete would never have fun again. This was a disaster. Flake contacted the nurse. She would be over immediately. On the nurse's instructions, we didn't turn him over. I scanned the slope and I didn't see any blood streaks. There was no red moisture seeping out from underneath poor Fun Pete, so I sighed a little relief. I was thankful not to see his appendage sliding down the slope. His black top hat glided in and landed next to his bare thigh. Who wants to have a little wank now? Because it's not me. I don't.
It's very unerotic. It's.
I don't want to get too nitpicky, but I also noticed a typo in one of the pages.
Yes, same. It was
called instead of could.
Yes, yeah. I spotted that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. So clearly a lot of effort went into this.
Now, listeners, this is one of my things, right, where I think it's similar to my, like, weird knowledge of fetishes.
Yeah.
Where, like, I am fascinated by that kind of stuff. Not in a way where I'm like, I have that fetish. It's more like I'm just fascinated by the idea of these things. And erotic fiction is hitting all the nails on the head for me, because there are things in this book that only an amateur writer could write, and only a horny amateur writer could ignore and just skip over. But they have these moments where, like, so Flake, who is one of the staff at the club, who rides down afterwards.
Yeah.
My favourite part of that whole page, ignore it, like, the bloody shrieks, whatever. The fact that the author takes time to explain that Flake is wearing rubber-soled shoes so she doesn't slip on the snow is one of my favourite things.
Yeah.
Like, only an amateur writer can be like, I should explain that.
Yeah.
And only a horny amateur writer can explain it that quickly and just be like, rubber-soled shoes.
Done. Moving on.
Like, people have got to know. Everyone's got to know that Flake has rubber-soled shoes. You could just say she runs over.
Yeah.
No one would question it.
No.
No one is going to be sitting there, dick in hand, waiting to see if his penis has come off, going, wait a minute, how did Flake sprint across the snow there?
It just seems weird to me that we spend so much of this building up Fun Pete just to have that happen to him and then very quickly change track. Almost as if they got to the end and went, right, 2 problems. 1, it's not very sexy. And 2, it's a little bit too short.
14 pages.
Yeah, so suddenly we need some more.
Yeah. Fun Pete feels like the addition to this book.
Yeah. And the fact that it's even got the subtitle, like, Flick lodges his tongue, which we need to now discuss, I guess.
Yeah, so we had this discussion earlier over message.
Yeah.
The word lodging sort of implies getting stuck.
Yes.
I feel like it could also be used in a context of, like, just sort of forcing it in.
Or, like, staying somewhere. Lodging.
Yeah, like maybe he sticks his tongue somewhere and just leaves it in there for a little bit. Not particularly sexy.
No.
I'll admit.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't really happen. He just gives her cunnilingus a couple of times.
Yeah, they're 69 at one point.
She says it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think my favourite bit is she obviously gives him a titty fuck because that's her favourite thing to do.
She loves doing it.
He comes all over her tits.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
I think I know where you're going.
And then,
is it to do with Speedy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is another issue I had. Because this is
that's
weird.
sexual assault, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I can't remember what she does to him. Does she get him to...
She grabs his head and sticks it in her tits. Like, she sticks his head in her tits, and then he sort of, like, recoils because from a professional standpoint, he shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
and
that is the reason they give.
Yeah, and then Flick is like, maybe he just didn't like my dried semen.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. It's another one of those, like... It's one of those things that I'm like, that's a little bit problematic. Because I feel like the implication there is meant to... I feel like the joke the author was going for, or not even I don't even know if you can call it a joke, but was that, like, oh, how disgusting, a man getting another man's semen on him.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just, they're in this club where there's a fucking orgy happening next to them, which involves lots of men and women. But
one of the things I quite liked, when Flick is lodging his tongue, the author will often divert to 2 couples that are nearby.
Oh, yes, the much sexier couples who are having a much sexier erotic novel happen. Yeah,
but seem to also be watching this while it's happening. But it's 2 guys who I think are having anal with 2 women.
Yes,
yeah.
They are having anal sex with 2 women.
And the 2 women are kissing each other and watching and all this sort of stuff. And I think the men high-five at one point or something.
I think they do.
They exchange, words.
Yeah.
It's... I don't understand why this is a thing that you made me read.
Again, I genuinely love this shit. I think it's hilarious and great. And I'm fascinated by this kind of thing. This book right, I will now make an argument. And I'm not saying I agree with the argument I'm making.
Okay.
I don't want to take a stance on this.
Okay.
But I will put forward that this is a great Christmas story.
I already have contention in mind.
It all comes down
Yeah.
to the last page of the book.
Okay.
Because what are the important things at Christmas, Liam? It's not the gifts.
Trees.
It's not the meal. It's not the trees. It's about spending time with your friends and family, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
This book ends after an entire lodge of people have stopped their orgies and their sex. Well, they've still carried on with the sex, but they've been watching Miss Claus and Flick make beautiful love.
Yeah.
Possibly. Just a tit fuck and a 69. But,
Yeah,
but, They stop. They have a moment where Flick comes, Miss Claus has an orgasm.
Yeah.
And they decide, hey, this night's not over yet. What do you want to do? Everyone's a bit disappointed. Miss Claus puts on her clothes. But her and Flick are like, yeah, we're going to go hit the slope. We're going to hit the slopes. I'd love to just ride those slopes without Fun Pete ruining it.
What a dickhead.
Everyone in the lodge decides that they're going to go with them, and then you get the beautiful sentence, in the meantime, everyone around us decided they would hit the slopes too. Flick and I were delighted. We were now one big happy family. Which is the worst way to describe a room of people that were in the middle of an orgy and then watched you have sex with people.
Yeah. Is it also just does it feel like it ends quite abruptly, as if there's more of this night to be told?
Oh, there definitely is, Liam.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Sable Ray to release book 2. I'm not even joking.
So, can I read what I'm assuming is meant to be one of the more erotic parts of this book? Because I didn't find it erotic, but I would like your opinion and also our listeners' opinion.
Yeah, hit me with it, Liam.
Okay. This is during the whole 69 part. This is probably what I would say is maybe what is supposed to be the most erotic part, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
My attention returned to my amusing guest when he parted my lips deftly and lunged in with his tongue. I was pleasantly shocked, and I oohed and ahed as he probed me with his masterly appendage. I held his cock in my hand and pumped him again as I licked his balls all over. I moved to his head, which was missing a foreskin, and sucked on it gently, swallowing the pre-cum that appeared. I ran my tongue up and down and around his thick shaft, much to his delight. Though his lips were clamped around my entrance, I heard muffles of satisfaction as I licked him hard. Flick found my aroused clit and circled it with pressure. The nerve ends in my groin pulsated as he worked his magic. He was an expert with his tongue, and I was nearing another orgasm. I massaged his cock as I licked it from the sensitive head to the base. Underneath my arm, I could feel his thighs tightening. He was getting close to climax too. We were about to come again, and this time, together. I peeked out and saw some bare backsides. Some female lodgers were on their knees and sucking cocks. I could hear a lot of males murmuring and confirming their partners were doing well. I saw a male lodger sucking his female guest's pussy, and she was practically writhing in ecstasy. This was a horny lot tonight. The pressure in my groin boiled over, and I shook and shuddered as I reached an orgasm. Others around us cried out too as they peeked. I returned my gaze to Flick's cock and went for the final push. I stroked him firmer with gentle twists. I flicked my tongue around his head with speed, and I nibbled up and down his shaft. When I felt him go rigid, I placed him fully into my mouth. He gave out a loud guttural cry as he unloaded into my throat. I quickly released him and swallowed his cum in one.
Now, that scene.
Yeah.
She's got the penis.
Yes.
She's nibbling it, which already don't know if that's a good idea, but she's nibbling it.
Yeah, nibbling the shaft.
He goes to orgasm.
Yeah.
She puts it in her mouth.
Yeah.
Swallows it in one.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I've done it in the wrong order. Cock in the mouth.
Yeah.
She releases him.
Yeah.
What's she letting go of? The penis.
And the balls, I'm assuming.
Everything.
Yep.
She lets go. Yep. And then goes like a seagull.
Yeah. That's how I'm picturing it.
I then like as well that you get like a sort of almost a running gag where Speedy's then behind the sofa and he's had another wank.
Yeah.
This book is just wild.
There's a bit, right? So earlier on, Speedy has a wank behind a sofa and comes all over the back of a sofa. And then there's another bit where Miss Claus says she sees Speedy behind some female guests
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, or maybe it's male guests. I don't know. Something's behind some guests.
No, it's two female guests, and she's worried that they'll be annoyed that he's come on them.
Yeah. As if Speedy just can't control himself.
I love it. These are supposed to be... She literally describes the serving staff as these like people who are hired to control their own arousal. But I guess the implication of the book is that Miss Claus is just so sexy, and she isn't. She's not. She doesn't come off as attractive in this book.
One of my favourite bits is when I think she's going down the slope, maybe, but she describes her hair flying behind her like a flag.
It's just so good.
I can't tell reading this if the author is sort of doing it tongue in cheek.
No.
Or is like 100%, this is going to be sexy.
I think it's a legitimate attempt to be sexy.
Okay. Because I'm just trying to think. I really want to have a go at writing some erotica. Like, I want to have a real crack at it. But I don't know if I should do tongue in cheek or like I'm going to.
No.
Do this
I think if you're doing it, you've got to go hard. I think tongue in cheek erotica. No one, because then you're missing the market of people like me who are like, this is so bad, I love it. You're also missing the market of people who legitimately want to masturbate to it. There's no one who's going, I want to read sexy erotica, and I really hope it's all sarcastic.
Not all of it, but like moments of humour. Just here.
You can have humour. I'm saying you can have humour in there, but you can't write the book being like, this is a tongue-in-cheek version of erotica. Okay. I think if you're going to do it, Liam, which I want you to...
I have an idea.
Is it Christmas-themed?
No.
You should write the story of Fun Pete.
No.
You attempted, though.
I have an idea. I might see if I can spend some time, maybe this week, jotting down some notes and getting a story started.
I honestly, I would love you to do that and bring it to the podcast when it's when you got something. Let us know how it's going.
Yeah, we'll get a guest on, and we'll do a culture swap where I'm the one that picks the culture swap, not the guest.
God, I would like to point out, listeners, if you were worried that this, because I think we said in the last episode I couldn't find a sequel to this.
Yeah,
because I don't think it's been written yet. I'm hoping it will be. But if you were worried that this would be the end of Ellie finding Christmas erotica for Liam, I would like to let you know that Sable Ray has written, just her alone, there's tons of other people out there that have done it, but Sable Ray has written the North Pole Club guest series, which includes Jingle Bell, Jiggly Bells, I like that those two are very similar, Holiday Thongs,
of course,
and Holiday Party, that's fine. She's also written the North Pole Club host series, which includes a Miss Claus book, so we get Miss Claus again. There's also Nutcracker, who is a character that comes up in this book.
Yeah, Nutcracker Fairy.
She makes people's nuts numb.
Yeah, obviously.
And Eve's End of Year Party.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this series. Then she has another bunch of series about other holidays, and one that seems to be calendar-based. I don't really get that, but,
It's erotica for all year round.
Yeah, there's a whole vampire series. I mean, Sable Ray is on point.
Yeah, I mean... This is the thing with this sort of stuff, right? Is it just... what's the word? Just the amount of that's output. Not the quality, but like just the sheer amount of it.
I think people are like, I just need to churn out more of this stuff.
Like if you was an erotic writer, is it just, I just need something out like once a week? Like I need a new book every week. Is it like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't... Because the thing is... I genuinely feel like, and I hope that these people, I don't know, I almost hope they are trying, because they kind of get a bit of my respect for doing this, because this is not, like, they go under pseudonyms, because obviously if people knew you were doing it, they'd be like, oh, what a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, these people are out there, they're writing their erotic fiction, it's shit, it's written poorly, but fuck it, they tried. And you know what, I honestly, I tip my hat to Sable Ray. I don't tip my hat as much to the one that we were looking up last time, who'd written a lot of questionable content, shall we say.
Yeah.
But Sable Ray, I tip my hat to you, sir or madame, or they or them.
Okay.
Or Z, or Xi.
Listeners, please remember just all of what Ellie said when she reviews the erotic fiction that I'm going to write.
Liam's going to be shit.
How many words do you think this is? I need to know what I'm aiming for.
We could find out very easily.
How?
I'll just Google it.
Okay.
Actually, I think it might tell me in the Kindle store.
Yeah, I wasn't
sure. It
sure.
tells me how many pages it was.
I just need to know what I'm targeting.
Yeah.
Because it's like I said on the last episode, this is my issue with these sort of things, is as soon as it seems achievable to me, a horrible part of my brain goes, why don't you try and do it then?
I think you should try and do it. I genuinely think you should.
I've got plans.
Right, view in store. 35 pages. Screen reader supported.
Oh, that's good.
I've just discovered that Kindle has a text-to-speech thing you can do.
So this podcast in the future, if my eyes don't get fixed, could become an erotic fiction podcast.
We can still do all the erotic stuff. It doesn't tell me how many words. I'll find out for you, Liam. I will find out.
Give me a target.
Yeah.
Or how many words do you think would be like if I write erotic fiction? How many words for you would you say that's good?
I think you'd have to get 28 Kindle pages.
I don't know how many words that
I'll
is.
set lower because this was the longest one. I think 20 Kindle pages.
I don't know what that equates to in words. I'm writing on a Word document.
I think there's about 200 words a page.
Okay.
So times that by 20. I think you've got to write 4,000 words.
Perfect. That was massively entertaining for our listeners there to listen to you
I'm
count.
going to cut most of me counting it out.
I
just counted words and lines. It's fine. We've got a number now. Liam's going to write 4,000 words of erotica.
Yeah.
Are you going for a theme?
I haven't decided.
Are you hitting a holiday?
No, I'm not doing a holiday. I've got an idea, but I don't think it's a theme yet.
Okay.
It's still very early days. Early days. Question for you. If there was to be a sequel to this book, what would you hope would happen in it? And also, what would you call it?
Right. What I want a sequel directly of this series where Flick and Miss Claus get their time on the mountain. I want at least half the book to just be them on the mountain doing sort of vaguely erotic stuff.
Okay.
Then I want another guy dressed as an elf to come in, do the little tongue flicky motion that Flick did.
Yeah.
Miss Claus is all like, well, hold on. Who's the... Oh, no. Scrap all that. I've just got it, Liam.
Okay.
Bloody got it. If she doesn't take this idea, Sable Ray, if you are listening, I've got it for you.
I mean, she's got a
Speedy.
Facebook page. We can post this episode to it once it's
Miss
out.
Claus needs to sleep with Speedy, and then Flick and Speedy need to compete to see who's better. And Speedy needs to win.
Okay, like compete
Like
on the
maybe
slopes,
Speedy,
maybe.
it turns out Speedy's pretty good with his tongue. Maybe he's quite fast with his tongue.
Okay.
That's the kind of level of writing she's got, so I'll settle for it.
Okay, fair enough.
That's what I want. And then I want a spin-off of Fun Pete. And I want him to hook up with the lady that was meant to be with Flick, who is also in hospital, which we skimmed over, but another person ends up in hospital in this book. There are 2 hospitalizations in this club in one night.
You want them to meet in hospital?
Yeah.
I
they
like
just have
that idea.
a real... Yeah, that's quite sweet.
Yeah, that's a good idea. 2
Fun
people,
Pete
like,
probably...
they're both bummed out. The night did not go the way they thought it would go.
No, but then Fun Pete
Did
looks
you
over and he's like,
notice-
you've got some pretty big tits.
Did you notice the managers, when they were describing what happened, was like, oh, she slipped. I dread to think on what. And then later you find out it's just on, like, custard or banana pudding.
Yeah. Well, was that meant to be a little joke? Like, he thought it was banana or custard pudding, which would look lot like...
Oh, maybe. I didn't think... No. One thing that I did quite like is how when Miss Claus meets Flick for the first time, they both have a little conversation about how neither of them have really got their end away that night.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing they worry about at this club.
Yeah.
Because Flick's like, I didn't have sex with her. And she's like, oh, I didn't have sex with Fun Pete.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool.
I guess Flick doesn't want sloppy seconds with Fun Pete.
No, that's fair.
So, good to know.
Poor Fun Pete.
That's
the real takeaway from this, listeners.
He's not described flatteringly, though.
Yeah,
but,
Miss Claus and Flick have got a family now. But they ain't got Fun Pete.
So, my sequel idea, I really like your idea of there being another elf dressed up. I liked where you were going with that.
Yeah.
And Miss Claus has to, like, make a decision. So, basically, my title is Miss Claus Goes Rubber Tubing, Elf on the Shelf. She has to decide which elf to leave behind.
Oh, see, I quite like the idea of you've got Flick, who's named Flick because of his tongue, and I like the idea of there being another elf who they nickname like Shelf because he sits very high up on a shelf. That's his thing.
That's just... Okay, I don't know how that's going to work.
I mean, here's the thing, listeners. There's so many other rooms at this club that we don't know about yet. And yeah, she probably covers some in the other novels, but there could be anything. The mountain is literally a mountain inside a room.
It has chairlifts. But
it has
we know it's
giant
not...
screens that show things like bald eagles flying past.
And they also have stuffed animals on the slopes as well.
Yeah, yeah. Also, the chairlift inside that room is 15 foot above the floor.
Yeah.
And it is possible to fall out of it and die, as
And
Fun Pete nearly does.
There are 2 chairlifts as well.
Yeah.
So this is how big of a room we're talking here.
It's huge. And this is just one of the rooms. Oh, I love this series. I hope she writes more. Sable Ray, you've got yourself a fan.
What are you giving this out of 5?
I'm giving it. I do need to explain why it's getting this. It's getting a 3.5.
That's high.
It is high. It is not because it is a good book. It is because I have enjoyed it so much.
Okay.
In terms of, like, I have found the experience of reading this book, I love how shittily written it is. Like, all the things that make this a bad book have made me enjoy this book. So that's why it's getting a high score.
I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 for the simple reason it fails as erotica, because at no point was I remotely aroused. And I have low standards when it comes to that sort of thing. It's not hard to get me going. So,
but you're pretty vanilla, and this is almost a fetish, Christmas fetish.
I am pretty vanilla, but yeah, I don't think there's anything in this that is like outrageous enough to be like, for me to be like, oh, that's gone beyond sexy to just horrible. No, it never quite gets to sexy. It just, it stalls. No, it stalls.
It flops around. It flops around in.
It's like a freshly climaxed penis that you're trying to get going again, but it needs recovery time.
Yeah.
It's not like a teenage penis. It's a middle-aged man penis, and they need to recover and recuperate.
Yeah.
And you can pump away at it all you like. I will try and read the rest of
these listeners. I'm going to try and read the rest of these series, and I'll let you all know how that goes.
So that's future housekeepings to look forward to.
Yep.
Okay. Because I think you could easily go through all of these festive ones, and we still have like a whole load of other festive erotica to do for future.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
By like different authors.
I'm mainly hoping we get more of this specific series, the Miss Claus series, for next year. That's what I want. Sable Ray, if you're out there.
Honestly, I think we could consider posting this to her Facebook page.
I'm going to write her a review.
I was tempted to, but I didn't want to be the only review that was mean. So if you do yours first,
I'm not going to be mean. I don't think I'm mean.
A 1 out of 5 review is not exactly glowing.
No, that's true.
So you do yours first. Do it on Goodreads, because that's where I'm doing mine.
Okay.
And then I'll do mine.
Okay. Liam, I think that's like pretty much the end of the Christmas episode. So what are we going to be doing for our New Year's Roundup episode?
It'll be a new year and a new day, and as you know, we spend the first part of the episode like reviewing the previous year, and then we just do like a bog standard episode. So we're doing The Void for Culture Swap next time.
So enthusiastic.
This is like an Ellie pick, which is kind of ignoring the fact that it's one of her picks. So she's trying to
Liam picked it. Liam's trying to cut off as many films as he can from the list. He was trying to be all like, "Oh, why don't I just look through the list to see what I've got, and we can pick something."
Ellie wanted to start with aliens, and this looked alien-y.
Well, I think it's more supernatural, but yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed coming of age because apparently we've done that recently, but I don't remember when.
It feels like it.
So yeah, we're doing The Void. Ellie's going to be happy. We're starting the new year.
I might not be.
On a Ellie high.
Well, yeah, and you'll be on a Liam low because you'd have lost so badly at the list.
Yeah, that's true.
So look forward to that, listeners.
Look forward to finding out what 5 films Ellie's going to get me to start the year with.
Can you send me over that list?
Yeah. Yeah.
Listeners, if you want to get in contact with us, you can email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com. You can tweet us at nerdonnerdpod.
No,
nerd. You can Facebook us at facebook.com/nerdonnerdpod. You can review us on iTunes. You can comment on YouTube, although you'll be commenting stuff that's a year old.
Yeah, but it's getting there.
We're getting pretty close to the Introducing Ellie episode.
So, yeah, it's only a couple of episodes away.
That's going to blow up.
That's going to be everyone's favourite because everyone loves Ellie and Liam can just fuck off.
I don't know why Liam has suddenly got so depressed at the end of this episode.
I'm just so sad that Christmas is over.
It is sad, Liam.
I've really enjoyed this Christmas episode.
It's been a good one. It's very long. I'm sorry about that, listeners, but it's the Christmas special. This is what we do.
I've not heard any complaints from our listeners that these episodes are too long, now that Mark stopped listening.
Yeah, there we go.
Because it was too long.
Because they were too long.
Look, right, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is free content. You have to do fuck all for it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, you can stop it in the middle. Save different bits. Be like, I'll listen to Culture Swap later.
If you have a particularly favourite part of the show, wait till I've caught up on YouTube, and this time next year, just listen to that part on YouTube.
Yeah.
Simple. You've got options.
Think about it. Next Christmas, they'll all be hearing about Miss Claus and Flick.
Wait,
and
no.
all our
Wait. Think about it. Not even next Christmas, because if I'm uploading one a week, and this is episode 79.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
By the end of the year, I'll have done 52. So we're talking like what, 26 weeks?
Yeah, so it'll be the middle of summer when the Christmas episode goes up.
Perfect.
Great, love it. If people ever look back at the YouTube, they're going to be like, why was this episode uploaded in August?
No, because I think they'll also listen and be like, oh, they've moaned about YouTube every episode until it's caught up. So I fully understand what's happened here.
Fair point. Any final thoughts, Liam?
I cannot wait for a new year full of potential opportunities.
That's a beautiful thought, Liam.
Ellie, any final thoughts from you?
I wish that I could show the world my backdoor hole.
What's stopping you?
Bye.